My voice is audible to everyone.
Yes, it is.
Good afternoon. I, Dia Provit, extended a warm welcome to all of you to this prestigious research conference. We are honored to have such a distinguished gathering of academics, researchers, and industry professionals with us today. It is with great pleasure that we welcome our esteemed session chairperson, Dr. V. Padmaja, Professor and Head Center for Leadership and Institutional MDPs, Remain Institute of Management, Bangalore, whose invaluable contribution to the field have been a guiding light for many. Dr. Padmaja brings 28 years of experience in corporate and higher education, specializing in leadership, talent management, and business ethics. She has conducted training programs for senior management and is published in Scopus Index Journal, presenting her research globally. We are also delighted to introduce Dr. Meenakshi Tripathi, Assistant Professor at Amity Business School, and Dr. Ritamra Goswami, Assistant Professor, Amity Business School, who will be serving as our rapporteurs for the session. Their expertise and supports are greatly appreciated in this session. Your presence here today is a testament to unwavering dedication to the advancement of your knowledge and research. To all our academic research scholars, distinguished guests, and thank you for taking the time to join us. Your participation is crucial to the success of this conference as we come together to exchange ideas, present research, and foster collaboration that will drive innovation and growth. Our theme for this conference is VIKSIT Bharat, aims to explore and discuss the multi-phase dimension of developed India. We believe that through our collective efforts and insights, we can pave the way for a brighter and more prosperous future. The guidelines for the presentation are: it should be opened at time with the PPT template of Amity University. Second one, kindly summarize your presentation within 5 minutes. After 4 minutes, when ring will ring, and after 5 minutes for ending your session. Sequence of the presenter will be same as it is given in the list. Last but not least, I have the honor of inviting our esteemed session chairperson, Dr. V. Padmaja, to share her valuable thoughts and insight with us. Your wisdom and guidance are truly appreciated, and we eagerly look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, and please.
Thank you very much, Amity University. I'm honored to be a part of this August gathering, although virtual.
Ma'am, are you there? Ma'am?
Yeah, sorry for that. I got logged out.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Dr. Meenakshi, Dr. Pooja, for having me for this session to be the track chair. I'm honored, and I look forward to some meaningful research paper presentations, because at the end of the day, for all of us as academicians, presenting papers in research conferences is very, very important. And I look forward, again, I'm saying I look forward to some meaningful contributions from the researchers, which will not only help the other participants, but it will also help your own development and understanding into the paper that you are doing. So I will not take much time. I'm sure you've had all, the talks about the conference and the conference themes by other keynote speakers. Without wasting much time, I would request the paper presenters to start with their presentation. Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, and thank you, Dr. Pooja, for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Yes, we are going to proceed with the first presenter.
I could like to invite Mayush Sharma. The topic is to measure the relationship between of financial literacy and financial well-being.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Mayur Sharma, are you there? Okay, so we are going with Arun Kumar. Arun Kumar, are you there?
Yes, I am here, sir. Am I
Okay,
audible,
yeah,
sir?
yeah, you are audible,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Please on your camera and present your PPT.
Fine. So, I'm clear, sir. I'm audible and visible.
Yeah,
Yes, you
you're
are. Yes,
visible.
you
You can
Yeah,
share through
thank you.
your.
Sir, it is showing me like it's disabled to share. The host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Okay, just a second, sir.
Okay.
Arunji, can we start?
Yeah, ma'am. Still, it is showing me the disabled share, ma'am. My
I think
screen.
your team, I mean, Amity University has to look into that. I'm an
Yeah.
external session
Ah,
chair.
sorry, ma'am.
Just a
May-
second, sir. We are just
Okay, sir.
giving the
Please.
permission.
No, please try it.
Uh, s- yes. Is my screen visible, sir? Here?
Yeah, you're
No.
visible, sir.
Yes, it is. Yes,
But
it is.
my PPT is not being shared here. So
The screen
it
movement
is
is there.
So we
so
are sharing here, and
so
we will
you
just
okay
move
you
our PPTs.
okay you are sharing from your end, right?
Yeah.
So okay okay before this, sir. So my PPTs are very simply formed. I mean earlier. So where I had the updated PPT, can I get a chance of presenting my end? If you please allow me to present to share
Now
my
you can
screen.
now you can share
Yeah,
your hand.
thank you, sir. Thank you then. Thank you so much. So, a very good afternoon to all. And this is Arun Kumar, and I am a research scholar from Anurag University, as well as I am working as a faculty here. So, today I am going to present my paper, which is titled with Big Data and HR Analytics, where the insights from a decade of research, where I, along with my with our PhD guide, Professor PSS Murthy Garu, we have developed a paper on this one. Coming to this, the title, the big data and HR analytics. So, where the paper is about to speak about the big data, the involvement of big data into the HR analytics is the last few years, and the impact of big data and the AI, the analytical these technologies on the practices of HRM, and how the HRM has shifted from the past phase to the present nowadays. So, and whereas what are be the advantage the big data and the HR analytics has brought to the practices of HRM. So, here we have taken the areas. Of the HR analytics, the practices generally do followed on HR management, where the recruitment, the selection process, the employee engagement, the performance management, and whereas the HR attended and the various practices the HRM usually follows, where all that areas now have been intervened with the concepts of big data and the AI. So we have taken this area and we found some interest of finding out how the HRM has been changed. So for which we have taken let me present. So coming to this, the objectives of our study are like, so to analyze the evaluation of big data in HRM practices, and to explore the tools and the methods which are used for workforce data analytics, and to illustrate the applications in the areas like the talent acquisition, the employee retention, which and the performance management, which are very crucial in HRM practices. Along with that, we are about to, I mean, this paper is about to highlight the emerging trends and the ethical challenges which are being used in big data in HR practices, and for which let me start with a very brief the evolution of HR analytics from the few years, where the early stages of HR analytics, we call it from the year 2010 to 2013, where we call that as the descriptive analytics have been adopted during the stage where they focus on the historical trends to improve. Coming to the year to 2014 to 2016, where the rise in the predict analytics has happened, which are enabled with the predictions about the employee turnover and about the employee performances. And from the year 2017 to 2019, where the integration of this big data and AI, the machine learning, this was happened, and where the deeper insights were made in the HR and the workforce dynamics. And from 2010 onwards to the present nowadays scenarios, so where we call this is the advanced stage of the prescriptive analytics, where the real-time decision making is being happening, which is driven by the advanced AI technologies which are intervened in these HRM practices. And coming to this, the methodology we used for this is we have studied the publications, the papers, the articles which are presented during the last 1 decade, from almost 2013 to 2023. So the papers we have taken, almost we have gone through 500 plus, but out of that we have filtered them out, and we pick the papers which are peer reviewed scopus, and the papers which are presented on the well-known conferences, and these papers we have taken, and we pulled out the data from that papers, and we had a in-depth analysis of all these articles, where we have gone through the introductions, the abstracts, the research methodologies, and the findings and the conclusions of such papers, and a thematic framework have been developed out of these findings, and we have come to study all that. So, and along with that, okay, so once we have gone through the all papers and all through the articles, then we could come to find the findings out of all these are, so the big data has been integrated in almost all every HRM practices, where the big data has evolved. Traditionally, the HR practices which enables the strategic decision making, like predictive analytics, forecasting employee turnover, and which optimizes the recruitment strategies, and which enhances the employee engagement too. And as well as in to nowadays, if you take the advanced decision making has been happening with the use of these AI technologies which are intervened in HRM practices. And coming to this, the practical applications, if you see nowadays, the big data and AI has been fully used during the talent acquisition, where AI powered tools have been streamlined in recruitment practices. And during the performance management, the dashboards, the KPIs, which enables the HR managers to track effectively the employee performances in very real time. And coming to this, the workforce planning also is made so effectively with the use of this HRM and HR analytics.
Excuse me,
So,
sir.
yeah, ma'am, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the time it's get over for the presentation.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just concluding in a few in just a couple of seconds. So I'm just concluding this, ma'am. So where the challenges are still open in big data analytics, where the privacy and ethical are the major challenges, and the intention to share the information from the employee perception is also big challenge. So by this I conclude this paper presentation. Thank you for everyone to give me a chance. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that was a good presentation. Mr.
Thank
Arun.
you.
Arun, one question.
Thank you.
Rather, I would say
Please,
two
ma'am.
questions, but I'll put them very quickly. What is the newness? Because there's a lot of research already being done on technological interventions in HRM. So, what is the newness that your paper is bringing to this in this research? Number one. Number two, how is it linked to VIKSIT Bharat? If you can quickly answer this, it will help me understand what is it that you
Yeah,
intend
ma'am.
to.
Yeah, the one thing, ma'am, as I said, like, so there is a gap where still the HR analytics is not able to fill that gap. Like, see, I want to bring it down. So how the development has been done so far with the intervention of HR analytics in the field of HRM, and whereas I am able to find a gap, which is a roadmap for the future study. Like, then I am already focused. I'm already started my work on this one. So where the ethical standards, the intention of the employee to share its details, so which are very crucial to come out with the effective HR analytics outcomes. If the employee is not able to share the right details, then HR analytics definitely goes wrong, ma'am. So where this is what the future roadmap to bring it out to the what is it, to the future study to make this outcome be available for the future study. We have made this study so far.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arun.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best in your PhD because I see that you're a research scholar.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next is Jain. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once it's up. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible. You can, yeah,
Okay,
you can
let's start.
start.
First of all, very good afternoon, one and all present here. Thanks to the Amity team for this opportunity, and kudos to the whole team for organizing this conference. My name is Vaibhav Jain. I'm a research scholar from Nesvadia College of Commerce, Pune. Apart from that, I'm also working as assistant manager in Australian Young Company in Noida. Today's as part of my syllabus, I had to prepare a research paper in literature review theme. So my topic of today's presentation is impact of artificial intelligence on recruitment and selection process in IT companies. And why I chose this topic because of theme that this conference has of VIKSIT Bharat. So I wanted to study how actually Indian IT companies are, growing from the technological development in HRM stream, especially. So let me start with the introduction. Uh, Artificial intelligence is a buzzword now. You'll hear it in every business in every industry across the world. You've been hearing this artificial intelligence. So, I mean, what is it? I mean, it's one of the promising and compelling technologies nowadays, which continuously transform human lives and massively impacts almost all sphere of the business world. These technological developments have brought in several shifts within the business processes. As such, there is a rising concern to shift from the traditional approach of hiring people to the AI recruitment based selection processes. The primary purpose of my research is to critically analyze how it is impacting the AI themes, AI tools are impacting the human resource practices. And because of the, just answering the earlier question being asked, like uh, how much of research is being done. So from the Indian perspective, when we see Indian companies, especially ID companies, you'll see the global companies is been using AI tools, but because of high cost and fear of losing jobs in India, it's been very limited research is being done in this space. So the rationale of choosing my PhD topic, also this this research paper was to understand how much of impact and how much of utilization has been done for AI tools in the Indian IT companies. Objectives of my studies were like to study the impact of AI in the selection process, how important it is, how much of how extent companies are using AI tools for their selection processes, what's the attitudes of recruiters towards these AI technologies, and what are the challenges companies are facing while adopting these technologies, and to suggest the measures for better implementation of AI tools. So these were my objectives of the studies, and because it's a literature review based paper, it's a completely qualitative study being done, and the data was completely based on whatever available information I had on published papers and on the books which are available. From the Indian context perspective, it was I have reviewed them, and basis to that I have prepared this. And the analysis is being done basis the thematic analysis, basically trying to understand what's the pattern for Indian IT companies to using AI tools, what are the trends going on in the Indian space. So these were my methodologies, and because of time crunch, I'll quickly come to my findings, and I'll conclude this. So, I mean, basis to the current study, the impact of AI technologies on recruitment and selection processes made us study on key AI capabilities and their influence on recruitment selection processes and potential outcome of applying AI capabilities in recruitment and selection process. So think of the world like 5, 10 years back where recruiters actually used to publish the vacancies on newspapers, right? And people used to go to offices, like lots of applications, lots of time consumption was happening. And think of current world wherein people like recruiters using AI chatbots, they're using AI tools just to scrutinize the lot of applications, right? From so just to align the job description with the skill set that candidate has. So it is basically AI is what AI is doing. It is making HR practices very efficient and time saving, so that it's a better hand for all the HR HR people. So overall, the implementation of AI technologies in the recruitment and selection processes can reduce the workload of recruiters with enhanced candidate experience. Because you'll see in the traditional approach, people were thinking a lot of biasness is also there. But using technologies, that biasness also can be improved, which will increase the candidate's experience. So uh, at last, it is suggested that companies learn to join hands with AI technologies. They can train AI technologies to be the extension of their teams, but not replace them. By saying not replace them, because there is in Indian context, we have a fear of losing job when tools are coming in. We'll lose our jobs, but that's not actually true. It will actually create new jobs because machine needs to learn, and that learning will happen from the human angle. So yeah, that's my study. Thank you very much. Happy to hear any comments and queries if you have. Ma'am, you're
Ma'am,
on
you are
mute.
muted.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was having some students here, so I muted. Vaibhavji, thank you very much for that presentation. Since you already said that you're working, I understand you're working in the corporate
ma'am.
and you're also simultaneously working on your research.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you see the impact of artificial intelligence in terms of ChatGPT and Meta AI in
Yeah, ma'am.
recruitment?
Ma'am, ChatGPT, there are various tools, but like when it comes to ChatGPT, it's a NLP based tool. It's like natural language processing they're using to basically convert the human language into answering people queries. So you'll see like in every company you'll have chatbots, right? If any person
Correct.
having any queries. So I mean it's been used to a extent, but not every small scale company can go up to that stage. So till now what I've studied is it's very high cost resources, but I think in future time when this like the costing will come down, people will enhance their usage of AI tools and it will improve their HR practices. So that's my
तो आप इसको विकसित भारत से लिंक देखते हैं? Do you see it being linked to विकसित भारत?
Yes, ma'am. We are like almost second, I will say like in every global companies, you'll see IT people are like just grooming everywhere, right? So we are the technology master. So I see India will groom future because we are the, like you see like a lot of companies, every CEO is Indian. So I see it's like very much growing future for India, and that's why I choose because like I have 6-7 years of IT experience, and I wanted to connect my experience to my PhD topic. So
One
I
more thing,
see it.
Vaibhav, but just a
Yes,
very
ma'am.
quick suggestion before we move on to the next presenter.
Yes, ma'am.
Since you're already working in the industry, how much of industry experience do you have, Vaibhav?
7 years.
7 years, and
Yes, ma'am.
you're still working in the industry and simultaneously doing your PhD?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So you intend to come to academics, or it is just an additional advantage for you?
Yeah, I mean, down the line, next 15-20 years, I'm keen to join academics. That's the
15,
goal.
20 years, बहुत लंबा time है. But anyways, my suggestion to
Yeah.
you is you use your industry experience in your research. Try
Yes,
to see right now this is only a secondary research, okay, literature
yes,
review. When you go for publications in your PhD, only secondary review may not be accepted. Good
yes, ma'am.
journals will not accept. It's only a review that you're doing. So
Right,
given the practical aspect of how applications are being tracked using software, वो सब आप थोड़ा
I'm
incorporate
actually
कीजिए.
working on it, ma'am.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like working on questionnaire and like I'm trying to actually make it quantify. My
Sure.
data
It's
should be
just a
quantified.
suggestion. I'm sure
Yes,
you'll
yes,
do
ma'am.
that.
Thank you so much.
And the paper will have a good impact if you give more of practical implications of usage of AI in your paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the feedback. Yeah. Thank you.
Next is Dr. P. Murugan, sir. Are you there, sir?
Next one,
Okay.
Parulji.
Okay.
Dr. P. Murugan. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Murugan sir, vanakkam.
வணக்கம் வணக்கம் மேம். தேங்க்யூ மேம்.
You can share your PPT, sir.
Oh, wait, 2 minutes.
Sure.
1 minute. My PPT not shared due to poor connection. I will try wait 3 minutes, sir, please. Sir.
So meanwhile, Dr. Fatima, could you please share your presentation? Murugan sir, you please come after Fatima ma'am.
Ma'am, if possible, unsupported document type, please select an image or PDF document, said ma'am.
Excuse me.
So your connection is very poor. We can't hear you properly.
Ma'am, because this is a remote village, ma'am, but I present ready, but my scan not very well, ma'am. May I present without PPT, ma'am? Is possible, ma'am?
We can share your PPT. We have your PPT.
Already I sent PPT for the WhatsApp, ma'am.
We
But
can share.
PPT,
We will share your PPT. Just wait a minute. We are sharing. Okay.
okay, okay. Because I'm a remote village, ma'am, because poor connection.
From which place are you joining, Dr. Murugan?
Which my native, ma'am.
Which place is that, sir?
Madurai, ma'am, Madurai.
Madurai is well connected, sir.
Yes, ma'am, Madurai nearby village, ma'am, Solavandan, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay.
Then now this time is college is a vacation, ma'am. Semester vacation. So we have stayed in home, ma'am. I'm come
Okay,
here
Murugan
for
sir.
the in the
Yeah.
garden for the little bit given for the tower, ma'am.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, for the inconvenience.
Sir, please you off your video so that you can restore a good connection. Please off your video.
Okay, ma'am. May I present, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank all the dignitaries for the supporting for the PPT presentation. I am Murugan, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Vivekananda College, Solavandan, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. My topic is performance management in the public sector, assessing the impact on the students' achievement and the teacher accountability. So, performance management in the public education sector has emerged as a critical approach for enhancing educational quality and accountability. It involves systematic process for evaluating and improving the teacher performance to achieve better students' outcomes. Studies have shown that effective performance management practice, such as regular evaluation, feedback, professional development, students' achievement, everything should have a positively impact of the teaching quality and students' achievements. So nowadays, most of the students having a lot of struggleness to be faced by these teachers. So, however, the implementing this practice in the public schools often face challenges, including the resource limitations, languages problems, even insufficient vehicles problems, and inconsistent of policy execution, which can affect their overall efficiency of the performance management in the public sector education. Then next, objectives of study. They evaluate the effectiveness of the performance management practice in improving the students' achievement within the public education sector. Second one, to analyze the relationship between the teachers, accountability measure, and their impact on the teaching quality and students' outcomes. Third one, to identify the key factors influencing the success of the performance management system in enhancing educational standards and overall school performance. Research methodology, research design. The study adopt a descriptive research design to assess the impact of the performance management practice on students' achievement and teacher accountability. In the public education sector, a descriptive design is suitable because it allows the detailed examination of the current practice, perception, and outcomes associated with the performance management, focusing on the understanding the extent to which this practice influencing the educational standards. Area of study in Tamil Nadu, specifically targeting 5 districts like Dharmaburi, Krishna Nagar, Viluppuram, Tiruvannamalai, and Parambalur. Dharmaburi has an education rate approximately 65%, indicating the significant challenges in the literacy and students' performance. Krishnagiri follow closely with the literacy rate around 66%. reflecting the similar educational issues. Viluppuram has slightly higher rate of the 68%, but still face obstacle in achieving the higher educational standards. Tiruvannamalai with the education rate 69%, so the most modest improvement, but remain below the state average. Perambalur with the literacy rate about 70%, round out the list, highlighting the need for the targeting intervention to boost educational outcomes. Nowadays, most of the public public school education system have a face lot of problems like vehicle problems, language problems, limited resource problems, not meals problems. Everything is there. So this district present a valuable opportunity to assess their effectiveness of their performance management and practice, identify a strategy to improve the educational quality in the region with a lower literacy rate. Then next, next one, finding and conclusions. Finding first, the significant correlation was identified between effective performance management practice and improved the students' achievements. Nowadays, not only focusing on the studying level, even the students they have a motivating to the extracurricular activities also there. So extracurricular activities they have a supporting to the in and all around the places. With the school that implemented a structured evaluation process demonstrating higher test scores compared to those with the less formal system. So nowadays, most of the schools have conducted for the different various level of tests, even though have a skillful knowledges they have conducted. So additionally, the research highlighted those teachers who received regular feedback and professional development opportunities reported
Sir,
higher levels of job satisfaction
excuse.
and engagement leading to lower turnover rates. So most of the teachers nowadays they have a motivating to the remote area students they have a going to for the higher level studies. This is the another important one for the students levels. Then, in conclusion, the study underscore the critical role of performance management system in enhancing educational effectiveness. The findings indicate the well-structured performance management framework not only they contribute to the improved students' outcomes, but also promote the teacher satisfaction and retention. So, not only for the students' support, even though around 90% they are supporting for the teachers, for the students, enthusiastic for the higher level studies, even the
Excuse
placement,
me,
even the
sir.
authority, whatever it may
Sir,
be, have a supporting to the students.
excuse me, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am.
So your time is over.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Dr. Murugan?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Dr. Murugan, I appreciate your efforts. I think the study will do good. My only
you.
concern, Dr. Murugan, is that what is meant by public education sector? Can you just clarify that? What is public
Ma'am,
education sector?
ma'am, nowadays the private school students have getting for the lot of sources are available, ma'am, because they have a pay money, they have a ample of sources are available, ma'am. But in the government schools, they have a public schools, they have a poor students, they have a joining for the government schools. There is no lot of resource. For example, say the most of the students studying for the private school, they have a joining for the NEET, JE, whatever, etc. But the government students not supporting to the any sources, they have not able to going for the higher studies, ma'am. This is the another important problem in our state. Last 2 years onwards, model schools conducted for the meritorious students. They have selected because they have conducting for the extra coaching. Even though the residential places, that school only have a residential places, they have a whatever choice they have taken. For example, say NEET, JE, the based on the specialization, the teachers is selected, students also selected. They have a particular places they have getting for the opportunities and practices they have promoting for the public education students also have joined for the higher level studies, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I
Thank
wish
you,
you
ma'am.
all the best, Dr. Murugan. I'm sure
Thank
your paper will, have a lot of good positive outcomes because,
Okay,
the
ma'am.
place and the institution to which you belong will have a great
Yes, ma'am.
impact, and it
Okay,
will
ma'am.
also, have a lot of positive outcomes for future researchers if they
Okay.
could refer to your research and paper. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ma'am.
much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Murugan. I wish you all the
Thank you.
best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite our next presentee, Dr. Fatima Evi.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Fatima. Yes, you are. Go ahead.
So I'm sharing my presentation. Okay. Uh, is my PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am. If PPT is visible,
So I'm
you can
starting.
proceed.
Respected chair of the session and other dignitaries, good afternoon all. I am Dr. Fatima Evi, Assistant Professor in Commerce, MES Ponnani College from Kerala. Here I'd like to present my paper, Effectiveness of Inclusive Learning in Higher Education with special reference to colleges under the University of Calicut. The new education policy of 2020 emphasizes much on inclusive learning, and the studies related with inclusive learning are fewer in higher education level. So the studies objectives are to evaluate the effectiveness of inclusive learning in higher education with special reference to colleges under the University of Calicut, and to examine the influence of inclusive learning on physiological, psychological, and behavioral aspects of the respondents. And about the research methodology, multi-stage random sampling method and snowball sampling were used to select 103 students with disabilities. In the first stage, University of Calicut was divided into 5 revenue districts such as Thrissur, Palakkad, Malappuram, Kozhikode, and Wayanad, and selected one college from each district by using simple random sampling method. As Malappuram district have the largest number of colleges under the University of Calicut, from Malappuram district, 2 colleges were selected. By using snowball sampling, finally students with disabilities were chosen as sample elements. Techniques such as mean, one sample t-test, ANOVA, and percentage analysis were adopted in the analysis and interpretation of the data. June 2024 was the period of the study. The major findings of the study are co-curricular and extracurricular activities, curricular activities, and peer relations serve as the most
You are muted, ma'am. You are not audible.
I don't know how it has happened. Anyway, I think.
Go ahead, Fatima. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The major findings of the study are co-curricular and extracurricular activities, curricular activities, and peer relations serve as the most significant contributors to inclusive learning. However, the educational environment and the comprehension of the material provided by the faculty were not particularly effective for them. The main physiological and psychological transformation experienced by differently able students as a result of inclusive learning is an increase in happiness and energy, which fosters a sense of being loved. This is closely followed by formation of positive relationship with others and a feeling of belongingness. But this does not provide improvement in their self-esteem as reflected in their postures and gestures, and do not heighten their confidence in terms of physiological and psychological dimensions. The findings also demonstrated as a significant positive effect of inclusive learning on various behavioral aspects, particularly in performance and social engagement of students with disabilities. So here I am concluding. Thank you for the MET team for giving me the opportunity.
Fatima, show me your objectives of your paper.
Okay.
To
These are the
evaluate the
objectives.
effectiveness of inclusive learning in higher
Yes.
education with. So, what is inclusive learning according to you, Fatima?
Including all of the different types of different students with the different abilities are there in the society. So include all of the students.
So
with the
here
different
you're talking of the learning abilities of the students. Am I right?
Yes. And
So
I am
with
considering specifically, I have selected the students with students of differently able students, like disabled students.
So this is only physical disability or mental disability also?
Both the disabilities are
Have you
both
mentioned
students.
that you have chosen both physical and mental?
Specifically, I didn't mention it in the paper, but I have
No, because
selected both.
disability is goes to a large extent. It's a wide, it's a wide, sky of. It's very
Yes.
wide when you talk of disability. See,
Yes.
mental disability, then how will you measure the effectiveness? Physical disability, I can understand. So what, Fatima, my suggestion to you, if you want to reform this paper, you say the physical disability which is seen.
But from different colleges, I have selected different mental disability. I have found mental disability students also.
Yeah, I leave it up to you, Fatima. You cannot mix mental and physical disability. They're two different. Mental disability is very, very deep. And
Yes.
we don't know whether higher educational institutions are, to what extent these kind of students are being admitted. Because you see, everything is through CAT, rankings.
They have provisions. They have special provisions for admission in the case of
Yeah,
admissions.
correct. I understand. So my suggestion to you is inclusive learning is a very good topic, Fatima. Just try to demarcate and create a difference between mental disability and physical disability, because the outcomes for mental disability will be different as compared to physical disability.
While selecting the mental disabled students, I've seen that they have improvements. In our college, the mental disabled students are studying, and they have improvements. But they are not at all. They can't cope up with our system. So if we are selecting them, we have to provide some more opportunities to them.
Okay. That was a suggestion. Okay. You could include government policies. You can include the government policy of University of Kerala with reference to higher education. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next presenter is Sunil Kumar R.
Hello, Professor Sunil.
Hi,
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, can you see my slide?
Not yet. I can still. Yes.
Yes,
First aid leadership in action. Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, to the chair and to the panel and all the fellow colleagues who have been seated in the presentation. Today, I'll be talking about positive leadership in action, a pathway to sustain a culture of flourishing. One of the prerequisites for today's corporate leaders in creating a VIKSIT BHARAT is to enhance the indulgence of positive leadership practices to improve employee engagement, which in turn will enhance employee flourishing and employee flourishing culture. The prerequisite for flourishing is all about emotional, psychological, and social well-being. When these three factors are addressed by the leader through the positive practices, as instructed or advised by Kim Cameron, the father of positive leadership, we engage or end up in flourishing employees. Now, the introduction looks at last 2 decades, there has been an upsurge of growing interest in research focusing on the role of positive psychology, leadership, and organization culture due to the various challenges in global environment. One of the bases or the foundation for positive leadership is the theory of brought and built by Fredrickson. Now, this theory, which was predominant 25 years back in developing social well-being, in developing positive psychology practices in organization, especially dealing with burnout, etc., was laid into importance in terms of how individuals' virtuous behavior can create an atmosphere for employees to engage positively and deliver the desired outcomes. This paper tries to address the role of positive leadership approach and setting a tone for developing a flourishing culture through positive deviant practices, enabling employees to flourish. When I say positive deviant practices, these are practices in organization which involves virtuous behavior, and in terms of how each one appreciates the behavior of positivity to have a better engagement. The three aspects or the fundamental aspects or the foundation for positive leadership lies in one, strength-based approach, how leaders can utilize individual strengths to get the work done. Two, positive perspectives, demonstrating positive perspective by leaders.
Professor Sunil, your slides are not moving. You're still in the introduction slide.
No, that's okay, ma'am. I'm just talking of the introduction only. I'll move the slides.
Right now, it's only the introduction? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
The second area of, apart from positive strength-based approach, is the positive perspective, where the leaders bring in a positive perspective to develop individuals in getting the projects or the assignments done whenever there are challenges. The positive leaders look at challenges not as obstacles, but opportunities to create something new. The third aspect is reward and recognition. Kim Cameron and Margaret Greenberg says, by just having a reward and recognition in place through the research in 2008, where Margaret Greenberg says in a software organization, just by saying, good job, John, appreciate your work, thanks for contributing, has increased the productivity to 47%. Now, this is the background for my study. The objective of the study is to investigate whether software professionals in India experience positive leadership practices demonstrated by the supervisors, thereby leading to flourishing organization culture. We looked at three hypotheses. The first hypothesis was, does positive leadership positively correlated with employee flourishing and a flourishing organization culture? Two, positive leadership does influence flourishing. And three, positive leadership does influence organization culture. And all the hypotheses are directional hypotheses which you have taken here. The methodology for the study is a sequential mixed method using both qualitative and quantitative. The sampling, to identify the sampling, we use judgmental to identify the potential respondents from the software companies, and the organizations were stratified using the stratified sampling, because we looked at the top 25 IT organizations in India based on the NASSCOM's criteria. The sample, this is a larger study. I'm basically giving you two or three variables here. The sample collected from 734 samples, both Indian and foreign MNCs, with minimum of 30 samples from each organization to understand their viability. The exclusion and inclusion criteria was minimum 3 years overall experience and minimum 1.6 years in current organization. When an employee works in an organization for minimum 18 months, it gives him a perspective of entire employee life cycles, and he would have gone through the entire process of project development and employee engagement, which gives him a better opportunity to assess the leadership practices. What are the findings? The objective says the positive software professionals experience positive leadership, flourishing culture of the organization. Moreover, there seems to be a substantial correlation between these concepts. The qualitative analysis indicated 4 themes that were identified based on the grounded theory on the thematic analysis with respect to flourishing culture. The themes were fair treatment, respected workplace, which looked at 72% of the people, Learning and career development, which enhanced to 68%, the second theme. The third theme was recognition of 83%, and fourth theme was transparency in communication. Similarly, if you look at the description where we looked at the qualitative study of positive leadership, the three aspects, the strength-based approach, positive perspective, and recognition also were the themes for this study. The findings. The positive leadership does influence flourishing. Positive leadership significantly influences flourishing and forecasts 17.6% variances. At the same time, positive leadership also significantly influenced its flourishing culture at 28.1%.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, in the conclusion, positive leadership and organization culture are key to effectiveness and flourishing. Employees react to supervisors' behavior based on the perceived optimistic subordinate relationship. The leader's optimistic approach attracts employees when they feel valued and prioritizing their well-being more than anything else. Positive leaders usually focus on solution rather than obstacles, and the challenge is to drive organization goal and culture. Positive leaders forecast a supportive learning-focused environment that promotes flourishing. This is about the brief study of a part of my work, ma'am. Are there any questions? You can ask me.
Thank you, Professor Sunil. That was a good presentation. One quick question for my understanding. Your respondents, you said, were leaders of software companies.
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is my voice clear? I just reduced the
Ma'am,
volume
it's a
of
little
it.
breaking, ma'am. Your voice is slightly breaking.
Okay, one second, 1 second. 1 second. Is it clearer now, Sunil?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear, ma'am.
Okay. So your respondents were leaders of software companies?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the
They
scope
were software
restricted?
professionals, not leaders, software professionals. The study here, the software professionals relate to their leaders' positive practices. Because the software professionals have experienced flourishing, positive leadership, and positive culture due to the positive practices of the leaders at the workplace. Ma'am, your thing has gone on freeze. Hello?
Sir, you are audible. Sir, you are audible, but the other side is not.
Okay. Because Dr. Padmajas went on freeze mode.
Yeah. She's not audible. You are audible.
So maybe there's network connection. Kindly wait for 1 or 2 minutes to join this meet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry for that. I got locked off.
No problem, ma'am.
And I had to reboot. I'm joining from my cell phone now.
Okay.
Dr. Sunil, one quick question is, you said you interviewed software professionals. Is it restricted to only Bangalore or across the country? And how many professionals did you interview?
Ma'am, if you look at my methodology, I said 734 professionals from the top 25 IT organizations in India who had spent minimum 18 months working in the current organization and having an experience of 36 months. Minimum experience of 36 months.
So how did you? Okay. That's quite a huge data, Professor Sunil.
Yes, ma'am. It's a
I
mammoth
mean,
data.
your number of, it's quite mammoth. are you planning to take this forward
Yes, ma'am.
and
This is the largest
take
study.
it
As I told you,
forward?
this is the largest study. And what I'm showing you is only the 3 variables.
Okay. Can I see your methodology once again, if you don't mind? Okay. Fine. Fair enough. Must have been quite a huge mammoth task of doing the data collection process, right?
Yes, ma'am. Because the criteria, inclusion, exclusion criteria is also a little tight. So it's, yeah, it was tough. And I had to literally be in the
must have
IT
been
parks
quite-
waiting for the respondents.
So what was the period of your data collection?
Ma'am, it almost took me, apart from me, there were 2 other people also who collected data. We took close to 6 months.
Fine, fair enough. I appreciate the efforts, and you could give it a positive outcome by linking it to VIKSIT Bharat, as you rightly pointed out in the beginning, and
Yes,
see
ma'am.
if the paper could have policy implications.
Pardon, ma'am?
See if the paper could have policy implications, because a lot is being talked about health and wellness. So, it could lead to policy implications in organizations,
ma'am.
because everything starts from the top. It starts from positive leadership.
Yes, ma'am. My implication, I've given both theoretical and practical implication. And we have also looked at how these aspects can look at organization policies where HR heads can look at in implementing positive practices across the board so that they get the best out of the employees.
Okay.
And
But why
in
did you
fact,
choose
the 2
foreign
of the
MNCs?
organizations. Yes,
Why
ma'am.
did you choose foreign MNCs, sir?
Ma'am, your Accenture is a foreign MNC. Your Capgemini is a foreign MNC.
Yeah,
Your Microsoft is a foreign MNC.
So we'll take it forward.
Sure,
Is there a
ma'am.
leadership? Is there a difference in the leadership style between Indian MNCs and foreign MNCs? We'll discuss that.
Sure, ma'am. There is actually not much, because the concept of positive leadership, though theoretically comes from Broad and Bill theory by Fredrickson. But if you look at the virtuous behavior, which Kim Cameron talks in 2012 through his Michigan University Positive Leadership Center, but this study can be traced way back to Ramayana in the first chapter of Balakanda, where there's a conversation between 2 saints, Narada Muni and Valmiki, where they discuss what is virtuous behavior and what are the qualities the virtuous behavior is required to be a good leader. Here, when I say leader, you need to shift the base, saying that a king becomes a leader, an organization becomes a kingdom, and the citizen becomes the follower or the employees. And it's a beautiful concept where the multiple intelligence theories by Hardin Grover, from Harvard professor of psychology, in 1983, where he talks about the multiple intelligence theory, and Kim Cameron talks about the virtuous behavior in 1912. When you link these two aspects, leads to the ancient Indian study of the Kalyana Gunas of Maryada Purushottam, where he demonstrates these behaviors which they have spoken to get the maximum mileage of positivity.
Sure. We'll take this forward offline, Professor Sunil.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
luck and
thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your time and support.
Thank
you. Any other questions, ma'am, from other panels?
No, I'm done.
Thank you, sir. I'd
Thank you,
like to
ma'am.
invite our next presentee, Dr. Namrata Srivastava.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My voice is clear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible to
Hello?
us. You are audible, ma'am. You are audible to the participant, ma'am.
And what about my PPT, ma'am? Is it visible?
No, you are visible, ma'am. PPT is not.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm sharing.
Dr. Namrata, are you from Amity? Are you one of the?
No, ma'am.
Is it
Now,
you're
yeah.
from
Yeah, I am from the
Dr.
Bhopal, ma'am.
Meenakshi? Yeah, Dr. Meenakshi, I've logged in from my cell phone also, just in case, I get logged out suddenly, my cell phone is there to support. So you will see two, I've logged in from two systems. Kindly allow me to do that. Meenakshi, are you there? Dr. Meenakshi?
Ma'am, Meenakshi, ma'am, signal, I think it is poor. She's not there, ma'am. Participants are there only.
Yeah, anybody from Amity, Dr. Parul? Because this frequency, the internet is quite weak. So
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
logged in also from my mobile. Just in case I get logged out from my laptop, I've kept my mobile as a backup. Thanks.
Okay. Dr. Namrata Srivastava, you can continue with your presentation.
Yeah, I have present. Can you see my PPT, ma'am?
No.
Right now?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Okay, can I start, ma'am?
Yeah, please, ma'am. Panel.
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the Amity University for giving me the opportunity or a platform to share my views. And today's my topic is women empowerment through entrepreneurship. I step toward the SSG's self-help group case study of Raipur. Before Bhopal, I was in Kalinga University in Raipur. That time I have survey. I have do the survey and collect the data. Okay, so that's it. And first of all, the introduction of the my topic is the empowerment through entrepreneur. So women entrepreneur play a vital role in the local economy, and the women run a high proportion in micro entrepreneur in the development nations. Rural women usually have the main responsibility for the agriculture outputs and home and the childcare tasks. In a developing nation like India, where women's economic situation in bleak, particularly in rural regions, and the earning possibilities are scarce. HSGs help open the road for the rural women's economic independence. Furthermore, women empowerment through increasing labor force participation and improve the social economic placements. However, the current policy moves toward women become job creators rather than the job seekers, and the positions these women as a key contribution to India growth, not just as a productive labor force, but also as an entrepreneur. This is because women entrepreneurships have been identified as a significant untapped source of economic growth throughout the world. So we can say entrepreneurs provide a pathway for women to gain financial independence and the social recognition and mobilize the women at a grassroots, encouraging economic and social empowerment. The city of Raipur, Chhattisgarh represents how HSGs are transforming women's lives through small-scale entrepreneurships. HSG's member in a Raipur encourage or engage in a various micro entrepreneurs such as agriculture, handicraft, which is a low cost productivity, and they are easily reached there. No? So HSGs encourage saving and offer credit assess financial inclusions. This is essential for the growth for a small business. Women financial contribution positively impact household stability and a local economy. If I talk about the review of literature, I have added in so many review of literature in my papers. I have found in others to how is HSGs and government policy are helpful for the entrepreneurship, manage HSGs, improving their business. If I talk about the objective of my study, the objective of my study is relationship between women entrepreneur and the economic empowerment for the women to describe how women entrepreneur contribute to the achievements HSGs through their business or entrepreneur whatever they are started their business, outlining policies suggestion for India's achieving for HSGs to women. If we talk about the government, some policies I have not added in here. Some government policies, women HSGs formations. Under this, they get 50,000 and 60,000 prize money to start their business. Apart from the 2 lakhs, the limited the limits. Swavlambam Yojana also the age of 35 and the women's they are widow or a divorcee or a single, they are useful for this under this Yojana. Female laborer HSG is 18 to 16 year between the age. They give some kind of financial support. So some policies, government policies are useful for the Raipur Chhattisgarh for the HSG's women's. And apart from that, if I'm talking about the methodology, data collection is the primary data and data analysis. For that, I have make a questionnaire and the scale I have used the Likert scale. 5 criteria scales are there. Sorry, area of study I have choose only the 5 division under the Raipur is Bhatapara, Pandri, Sankarnagar, Arang and the Tatiban, which is nearby where I am staying. And sorry, and the area of study is the 5 divisions. Limitation, if I'm talking about the only 100 participants are have choose and the 5 districts, 5 divisions are there. So 20 ladies in each division I have selected and collect the data. If I am talking about the finding and conclusion, so in this my paper, the 3 broader constructions are considered while measuring women and entrepreneurship factor related to the reach. RP means the reach and process, power and agencies, and the economic advertisements. Regression model is found to be a good fit as a p-value is estimate the 0.01%, which is less than 0.05. Also, R square is estimate at the 0.63, which means the 63% change in the overall women empowerment of all women entrepreneurs are successfully explained by the investigators identified this model, reach and progress, power, agencies, economic advancements. Conclusion, HSGs not only provide the financial support but also foster conditions, confidence, leadership and the decision-making skill among the women. By engaging in entrepreneurial activities, women in Raipur state have improved their social economic status, contributing significant to household and community development. This approach has proven to be a sustainable model for the elevating poverty and the promoting gender equality. Strengthening HSGs and expand entrepreneur opportunities can further amplify the impact of women empowerment. Scope for the further researchers. The current study focus on the perspective of the women HSGs in the 5 division only and the single district Raipur. The researchers choose only the, if I am choosing the 20 participate in this my paper, other futures they can enhance the area, they can enhance the participant also. The study might be expand to additional districts to increase the credibility of the result as well as the make it more comprehensive and the generalizable. Against the research might be conducted in locations other the state. Study is connected to various concerns of women. HSGs may also be done to generate ideas for more complete finding. If the field is bigger than the earlier study, if it is yield more accurate and tangible results. The researcher aspects that the discovery would provide future researchers that are fresh path and scopes. Thank you. That is from my side.
Okay, Dr. Namrata, quite a good in-depth study. When you say Can you hear me, Namrata?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So when you say SHG, I mean women entrepreneurs in the unorganized sector, I think that's what I saw in the unorganized sector. Did you choose them purposely, or it was just a random sample?
Random sampling, ma'am. Not purposely. In 5 division I have chosen, ma'am. So they are, some are rich, some are is, if I'm talking about the 31 and the Shankar Nagar industrial areas. So some peoples, they are in a poor. No? So if I am moving there, I have seen the situation of ladies is not a good. Some ladies are qualified or of class 4th and a 5th, they have passed out, some are illiterate. So those are, ma'am, literate. So they are using in the company because packing type of worker, some kind of works there. Others, they are little bit works included in this field. So if I'm talking about the VIKSIT Bharat, what is the contribution of that ladies in the VIKSIT Bharat? Ma'am, I am saying if the ladies is very strong in the financial side now, so they are not only take a decision for themselves, herself, or they are very useful for the family, apart from the society economics also. And their income is included in the GDP and NI. If the GDP and NI is increasing, we can say the India is really Viksit Bharat, move towards the path, ma'am.
You must have taken a lot of pains and efforts to do interviews with all of them. क्योंकि इनसे तो Google Doc ये सब भरा नहीं जाएगा. You would have done a lot of interviews and.
मैम, उनको समझाना, it is very difficult. They are very shy. They are not facing. No, I am not giving tu bol. ऐसा something they are said. So how can I choose more than a 200 or a 300 candidates? 50 is very difficult, ma'am. They are very shy. They can't. But our team is, yes, ma'am.
Good, Dr. Namrata.
Thank you.
I wish you all the
ma'am.
best.
Thank you.
I'm sure you will, your research will have a lot of good implications for further young researchers also, and especially in the state of
Yes,
Chhattisgarh.
I have 30 papers published and 5 in Scopus. I have 4 patent, ma'am, and 9-year experience. And this is for God blessing
Good.
and yours.
Good, Dr. Namrata.
Thank you,
Nice
ma'am.
meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you. You too, ma'am. Thank you.
Same here.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a small reminder for everyone that they have to complete their presentation within 5 minutes. I would like to invite our next presentees, Priyam Seth.
Prem Seth, are you there?
Hello, Priyam. Go ahead, Priyam.
Hello.
Yeah, you're visible.
Hello, I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, I am sharing my screen.
Priyam, go ahead, Priyam.
Yes, ma'am, I am sharing my screen, ma'am. It takes time.
Ma'am, please choose the button Share Contact. Then you will choose your file.
Ma'am, is it visible my screen?
No, not visible.
Link भेजो इस पे। डिस्प्ले प्लीज
in screen. Ma'am, your PPT is visible in the screen.
Yes, ma'am, I'm trying.
Not yet, not yet.
Ma'am, your PPT is on the screen.
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay.
Ma'am, now you can present your PPT, please.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am,
Go ahead,
you are
Priyam.
audible.
Go ahead. Priyam, go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. My name is VIKSIT and I'm a research scholar in the Department of HRD, VBS Purvanchal University. And today my research topic is reward and recognition and job involvement, a comparative study of public and private sector banks. This is the introduction section. Employees are valuable assets in every organization. Therefore, it is very important to understand their behavior and the factors affecting their behavior. Because the successful operation of any organization is highly dependent upon employee attitude and behavior. And job involvement is one of the most important positive outcome that affects many individual and organizational outcome. Uh, uh, Seeing their importance, we have chosen job involvement as a outcome variable in this study. Basically, job involvement is the employee's psychological identification with their job and their active participation in their job. There are many factors that affects job involvement. Based on previous study, there are many HRM practices that affects employee job involvement. In my study, I have chosen one HRM practice, that is reward and recognition, and seeing their impact on job involvement. This study consider reward recognition as a HRM practice and find out their relationship with the job involvement based on social action theory. This is the objective of my study, to find out the relationship between reward and recognition and job involvement, and to provide empirical evidence needed to develop and implement policy and practices regarding reward and recognition that foster employee job involvement. And my third objective is identify the difference in the level of employee job involvement between public and private sector banks. This is the methodology section of my study. We have used cross-sectional data and we have used a standardized questionnaire to assess the reward recognition and job involvement. We have choose simple random sampling method to collect data. The population of the study is executive in public and private sector banks employee in Eastern UP. We have collected total 364 respondents and were participated in the study. 258 respondents from public sector banks and 106 respondents from private sector banks. Reward and recognition as assessed by a scale of SOX, standardized scale of SOX 2006, and job involvement is assessed by 10-item scales of Kanungo 1982. We have used product moment correlation to identify the relationship between reward and recognition and job involvement, and we have applied independent sample t-test to assess the employee's job involvement level between public and private sector banks. This is the findings section of my study. The study findings are based on social action theory, and there is the value of correlation, the value of R is 0.353 at the significance level 0.01. That represents that there is a significant relationship between reward and recognition and job involvement. And the finding points out that needed for organization need to recognize and reward employees' well done job and their efforts that motivate them to actually participate in their job. If we have paid to employees HRM practices, that it reciprocate to their behavior and gives positive attitude towards their job, that is very beneficial for the organization productivity. And there is a significant difference in the score for public and private sector banks. The mean score is 53.12 and standard deviation is 6.33, and private sector's mean average is 54.74 and standard deviation is 5.54. As p-value is less than 0.05, so the alternative hypothesis is accepted. The value of t statistics is minus 2.294 at the significance level 0.05 indicates that private sector banks employee have higher job involvement in comparison to public sector banks. Thank you, giving opportunity to represent my topic. Thank you, ma'am.
Come to your first slide, Priyam. First slide.
Okay, ma'am. Introduction.
Yeah, and your objectives.
Objective. Yes, ma'am. This is the objective.
Have you analyzed what kind of rewards are given now in the hybrid workplace? Have you analyzed anything about rewards and recognitions in the hybrid workplace?
Yes, ma'am.
Assessment of rewards in hybrid workplace. What can you say about that?
Ma'am, in hybrid mode, we can appreciate employee works.
Can add little bit one more slide or some findings about how rewards and recognitions are done in the hybrid workplace. And what is your sample size? 364 respondents.
Yes, ma'am.
You did it
Yes,
in banks.
Yes, ma'am. In both private and public sector banks in Eastern UP.
In UP. Oh, then it has nothing to do with hybrid workplace. But both public sector and private sector both?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your overall analysis of findings? Overall, what do you think about rewards in banks? Because banking these days is very, very tough.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my finding is that private sector bank employees get more reward and recognition and as compared to public sector banks. That why that they have a higher job involvement as compared to public sector banks.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable feedback. Next is Shibilai. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can present.
Okay. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible and visible.
Thank you, sir. I think my screen is visible.
It's good.
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Shibila. This is Scholar, Department of Commerce, Srinarayana College, Kannur, Kerala, Kannur University. And the co-authors along with me are Sanam Thalayada, Scholar, Department of Commerce, Srinarayana College, Kannur, Kerala, Kannur University. And Dr. Jayarajan TK, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Payyanur College, Payyanur, Kerala, Kannur University. And the title of the work is The Role of Digital Financial Literacy in Catapulting Towards VIKSIT Bharat, a case study of Kerala's youth. The introduction part. As we thrive towards VIKSIT Bharat by 2047, empowering people in the area of digital financial services is a pivotal part. In the era of clicks, financial literacy extended from traditional savings, budgeting, and consuming to the widened landscape of digital financial services and its platforms. India's younger generation must have solid understanding about the savings, investment, personal finance, and debt management for a self-reliant nation. For that, they should be equipped with the necessary skills which help them to participate in the nation's economic development. Kerala has been always at the forefront of technology-driven initiatives in India. In Kerala, a population displays high literacy rate, questionable condition of financial literacy, and digital financial literacy prevails. See, the objectives of the study are actually this is to find the digital financial literacy status of youngsters in Kerala, a high literacy state with a well-structured higher education system. And structural equation modeling is also conducted to know the interrelatedness of digital financial literacy and its dimensions, that is DFA, digital financial attitude, digital financial behavior, and digital financial knowledge. And a moderation analysis is also conducted to determine if the effect of DFP, that is digital financial behavior, on DFL varies based on gender. Moving on to the methodology part. OECD INFE Toolkit, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, International Network on Financial Education Toolkit for measuring financial literacy and financial inclusion 2022 is used to measure digital financial literacy among youngsters in Kerala. 450 respondents are selected from various higher education institutions across Kerala based on purposive sampling method. The data gathered from them through a survey questionnaire designed in a Google form, and the collected data is analyzed through an open source software, JASP software version 0.19.1. Moving on to the conclusion, findings and conclusion part. As we envision ourselves as VIKSIT Bharat by 2047, we should give immense care on our digital financial platforms. It is evident from the study that male youngsters have more digital financial literacy, that is about 44%, than male youngsters in Kerala. It is just only 22%. Male youngsters always showing a positive attitude towards digital financial literacy and its components. Though the state's higher education gender parity index exhibits disparity in favor of female, while coming to the digital financial literacy scenario, male outperforming. This is specifying the necessity of empowering our female youngsters for a better digital financial knowledge and thereby to achieve financial freedom. And there should be customized interventions for each education stream should be provided, and the educators must take initiatives to ensure this. Actually, I have analyzed data based on the education stream also, and it is to be known that the students from the commerce background not at all showing that much financial attitude, that much don't have that much financial attitude, and the students and the youngsters from the arts and science field, that stream as exhibiting a more favorable attitude towards this digital financial literacy. And an academic guidance should be given to the educators, and financial education implications are also discussed. The study also conducted a structuration modeling, and it's verified the interrelatedness of DFL and its dimensions, DFA, DFP, and DFK. The moderation effect of digital financial behavior on digital financial literacy through gender is also conducted, and it is found that male youngsters showing more positive attitude towards digital financial literacy than female youngsters. And that's all about it. Thank you.
Okay. It was a good presentation, Shibila. Can you
Thank
hear
you,
me,
ma'am.
Shibila?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What are the reasons why there is a rise in the digital financial awareness and literacy in the males? Why women are not more aware? What are the reasons? Kerala is supposed to be a very advanced state in terms of women empowerment and women literacy. So what are the reasons? Just tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, our higher education institution-based higher education disparity index that show a disparity in favor of female. That is, we have more number of female youngsters in our higher education system. But while come to the digital financial literacy, male outperforming because they have more access to more financial instruments, or they are more approachable to financial news or financial things. Female are really reluctant to the change, or they are not at all interested for having new information, or they are really want to be in a safe position, and they don't have much knowledge in this financial aspect. They're ready to grasp anything from the book and to have in exams, but that is not enough for being a financial freedom. For that, there should be more aware about the financial product and should be more active in these financial activities. Ma'am, you're muted.
You can take forward the study in a larger way. Look at the factors. Identify the factors. What are the drivers? What are the hindrances and challenges? That will have a larger, just by saying women are less aware, men are aware. What are the reasons, challenges?
Okay, ma'am.
Is there any genuine demographic differences between the way women think and the way men think? You could do a good perceptual study on that.
Okay, ma'am, I will add it. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Because it's financial literacy, no? And that it's
Yes,
digital financial literacy.
Yes,
So
yes.
you'll get good, points when you're creating your questionnaire.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your valuable feedback, ma'am. And next is Mr. Arjun. Are you there?
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, everyone. We are just sharing the screen. So good afternoon, everyone. We are here for the presentation. I am Mr. Arjun Govind, and with me, Ms. Jijabai Rakte. The topic is Future is Young, Unleashing the Potential of Youth for VIKSIT Bharat. We had done the study. As we know, today we are in an era of Amrit Kal, and our Prime Minister has enforced on to upskilling the youth. If you look into the count, there are around, let's say, 356 million plus youth in our country. And upskilling and employment is a major challenge there. So that's the problem which we wanted to address through the study, so that this would help in future in policy formation and other aspects of governance. Now, looking into the readiness factors, we have considered skill-based competencies, digital literacy, adaptability, cultural competence, which are essential for youth workforce readiness. And we had the empowerment focus, that is policies and training that can enable youth to contribute. And also to look into the vision of VIKSIT Bharat, which the current government has initiated. So we wanted to look into how investment into youth capital can all help. Also, we wanted to look into inclusive development path, which looks into overcoming barriers that will allow youth to actively shape a prosperous, sustainable, and inclusive future. If you look at now, a lot of brain drain is happening. The skilled youth is moving out of the country. So definitely India needs to take some action on that. One second. Yeah. There are 4 objectives that we have set for the study: to assess how formal skill training programs impact youth employability. And we have considered 2 time periods, that is within 6 months and after 6 months, to determine the influence of digital literacy on employability, particularly in technology-driven sectors, which is booming now, and to explore how agile management training enhances adaptability and prepares youth for dynamic career roles. And the 4th objective goes like this: investigate how cultural competence and sustainability awareness contribute to higher levels of job satisfaction. Now, to go ahead with the methodology and other aspects of this research, I request Jija ma'am to take over.
Thank you, sir. So here we have used the study methodologies. So here we have segmented with the training and the status, with the digital literacy, adaptability, and the cultural competencies. Then the second one we have took with the data collection using the structure surveys with the training status, digital literacy scores, then adaptability scores, cultural competencies, and the job satisfaction metrics. Then we had done the data analysis actually. So we have took the 340 youth participants are there, the sample size. So we have done the analysis with the chi-square test with the independent for the employment outcomes. Then the one Whitney U test for the digital literacy with the technical versus non-technical sectors. Then independent T test for the adaptability based on the Agile trainings. So that training is provided for the specifically for the project management and the framework that helps to the team delivers for the new application and the updations and the multiple regression for identifying the predictor of a job satisfaction. So as per the analysis and the result, the skill training and the employability. So here with the skill training and the employability, so we have to with the training status employability within the 6 month and not employed within the 6 month. So we have provided the means we given for the 6 month training, and if no training has provided, so maybe formal training, so it will come the 153, and if there is no training we have provided the 62 it was there, so 48%. So total we has calculated with the 215. So like the digital literacy and the employment and the technology sector also, we has a calculated with the technology and the non-technology. So median digital literacy score was there. Then the cultural competencies and the sustainability awareness and the job satisfaction also, we has done the test. So here this hypothesis assesses the impact of the alignment training on the adaptabilities. Then the findings with study is demographic advantages. Then it will be useful for the education and the skill development for the youth. Then the entrepreneurship and the innovation, if we are providing the trainings for the youth. Then the digital literacy and the technological adaptation. Then the civic engagement and the social responsibilities, mental health and the well-beings. Then the gender equality and inclusiveness, because of we have seen only not for the men, but for the girls or the women also it is important. Then the policy frameworks and the support mechanism will be happen, so it is useful for the all the youngsters. Then the sustainable development goal is there. So as per our study, this study is underscores that the youth workforce readiness can be enhanced through the skill training, then the digital literacy, agile methodologies, and the cultural competencies, then the collaborative approach from the educational institute, policymakers, and the industry leaders. So it is going to essential for developing the skills adaptable workforce aligned with the India's vision of a VIKSIT Bharat. And this multiple phase strategies not only for the addressing employability but foster the innovation and the sustainability, propelling the India's toward the economic growth. So here main focus will be not only for the development of the infrastructure and all the things, so maybe focus on the skill development for the youngsters. Yeah, thank you so much.
We are done, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, doctor, your feedback, ma'am.
1 second. Yeah, I liked the objectives, but there are too many objectives, Professor Jija and your co-author, who's the other one, Mr. Arun.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. How did you investigate the cultural competencies and sustainability awareness?
Actually, these are all based on self responded questionnaire. So we couldn't go beyond that because of the time limitations.
So
most of them are.
Suggestion, Mr. Arun and Professor Jija, my suggestion is that for a conference, Arjun and Jija, sorry, not Arun. For a conference, you can limit your objectives to only 2 or 3. It's not a research paper, no?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will provoke us to ask questions.
Understood. We
Because
were in pursuit of making this as a paper, but then halfway we had to restrict it because of the
yeah, I
content.
understand. I'm talking out of my experience because I once presented a paper in ISC and I got
Yes.
that feedback. He said for a conference, just keep only 2. It's enough. Only
Oh.
when you're taking it forward for a publication, then you can.
Okay, ma'am. We'll do that, ma'am.
Yeah, just keep
Thank
that in mind.
Yep.
And what are your findings, Professor Arjun? Oh, there are too many findings. Please support it with data. Please support it with data. So
Sure.
otherwise it will
Actually,
look very theoretical, no?
Because we have included all those in our paper, but because of limitations, we have added just the bullet point.
Okay, we will make it, ma'am.
We'll make it, ma'am.
Yeah, it has to be supported with data. Otherwise it will look like our student's paper.
Understood, ma'am. We'll do it, ma'am.
Yeah.
We are from Amity, Bangalore, ma'am.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
So you know, Professor Jija, you know how our students will just put in some points there. If we support it with data and then justify, then it will look very good.
Yes. We thought we'll explain that because it's there in the paper, but then we just put the bullet points in the PPT.
Okay,
That's right.
I take that. Thank you, but good paper.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Wish you a great day, ma'am.
Thanks. We can catch up later on in
Sure,
Bangalore.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Please do visit us, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks.
So it was a wonderful presentation with valuable feedback. Next is Dr. K. Lata. Are you there, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I'm audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible. You're visible. You can.
My screen is visible, sir?
Yeah.
Yes. Very good afternoon to one and all. I'm Dr. K. Lata and my co-author is Dr. V. Murugesh. We are paper titled as Study on Opportunities for the Rural Women Entrepreneurship in India, a Pathway to the Economic Empowerment. Introduction of the study. In India, it's a long-time tradition that rural women are earning household incomes through agriculture, handicrafts, and cottage industries. But there has been a notable thrust in the participation of these women in the formal entrepreneurship in the recent times, mainly because of the policy interventions aimed at creating more inclusions in the economy. As the world continues to wrestle with the problems of the entrepreneurship and economic growth, the World Bank report 2021 indicates that women comprises 14% of the total number of India, with rural women entrepreneurs emerging as a potential force to the local economic development. Our objective of the study is analysis of the current scenario of the rural women entrepreneurship in India and identify the challenges that limit the rural women from exploring the complete entrepreneurial activities and to measure the effectiveness of the programs and the projects which is undertaken by the government in establishing entrepreneurship activities for the rural women, and to provide recommendations on how to create an enabling environment that complements the constraints that have to be overcome by the sustainable entrepreneurship among the rural women. Methodologies, actually we have used both primary data as well as the secondary data for the analysis purpose, and findings and conclusions of the study. Actually, the number of the rural women entrepreneurship over the last 5 years with an estimated growth of 13% in 2023. Financial inclusion, technological upgradation, and supportive government schemes dominate these drivers. Key drivers have been Mudra Yojana scheme, Digital India, Stand Up India schemes that have been provided women with access to the credit and improved digital literacy, as well as they have taken one to on e-commerce platforms for selling their products and so on. Governments and the bank should collaborate to improve the women's access to the formal banking as well as the investment opportunities. Additionally, women need better training in the technical and management skills, particularly in the fields of renewable energy, techie, as well as the digital marketing. Expanding the digital infrastructure, including the affordable internet and digital literacy programs, would help the women engages in the e-commerce as well as in the digital payments. Finally, the government initiative should be tailored to meet the specific needs of the different regions to ensure more inclusive support for the women economic empowerment. So these are the findings of the study. Conclusion of the study is the rural women entrepreneurship in India offers vast, untouched potential of the economic growth and social change. government schemes, NGOs, as well as the private sector have been made significant opportunities, yet there are still barriers in terms of accessing of their finance in banks, as well as in the financial institutions and education and societal constraints. The role of the rural women is immense for the local as well as in the national development, though this will require all stakeholders to create an enabling ecosystem. Support to the rural women entrepreneurs will benefit both economically as well as socially. Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Lata, can you show your objective slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Too many objectives for a conference, Lata.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's see, point number 2 is so tough. Second objective.
Yes, ma'am.
First objective is, I understand it must be a part of your PhD.
Yes, ma'am.
An analysis of current scenario of rural women entrepreneurship in India. That's too wide and it's too generic.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Right. I liked the third one, to measure the effectiveness of the programs. Now, which programs we don't know?
Ma'am, actually, as per our study,
yes,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I didn't give that results in the PPT, ma'am. I'll read it, ma'am. Actually,
yeah.
Yes, wait 1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, the Kudambashri program in Kerala at top, ma'am, actually 90% it is their success rate, ma'am. The reason is better local support structure they are giving, as well as integrations with the state initiative, with the rural people they are doing, ma'am. So that scheme is actually succeeded 90%, ma'am. But the low success rate is for Stand Up India, ma'am. As per my study, ma'am, 60% of the 60% is the success rate, ma'am. Though the size of the loan is very high, many women cannot avail the loans mainly due to the tough procedures, ma'am, for loan sanctioning for the rural women entrepreneurs, ma'am.
Okay.
So
even the fourth one is very vast.
Okay, ma'am.
Provide
Okay, ma'am.
recommendations. It's very vast.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
In conference, you can keep it very limited and very, very focused.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Next is Anina Andrews. Are you there, ma'am?
Hello, Anina. Hi. Go ahead.
Anina, are we audible to you? Anina Andrews, you're not audible.
Arina ma'am. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Meanwhile, can we have somebody else so that she can get ready? Anina, are you ready?
Just once unmute, mute your mic and then unmute. Anina, you're visible, but your not able, your voice is not. Okay. Next is Charu Mahan.
Hi, I am audible.
Who is
Yes.
this, Anina?
No, this is Shivati Rana. I'm co-author with Dr. Charu Mehan. Actually, due to some emergency, she is not able to attend the conference.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
I'm presenting her behalf as a co-author.
Please on your camera. Please go ahead for the presentation.
Is my PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, this is Shivati Rana. I'm from CBSE Chandigarh Business School of Administration. It's CGC Landran, Mohali. It's in Punjab. So today my topic is the function of human resource management in avoiding workplace stress in air traffic controllers. So as we all know, air traffic controllers are those people who control the traffic, air traffic, which makes our aircrafts to be on the right way. So all we know, it's a difficult job, right? And they have heavy workload, a strong safety obligation, and work shifts they have. So the reason I chose their work stress, because once a while I was traveling, and I just jumped into a person who was working as a air traffic controller, and he's in very hurry. I just saw his body language. I just googled after that incident, that how these people work, why they are so much in stress while going to their work. So uh, that's what the reason behind I choose this study. And my objectives of this study: where does the stress come from in air traffic control, and how would the stress affect an air traffic controller's health, and how can the stress can be managed? So my research is, I have taken 10 people, because we have two types of traffic controllers. Air traffic controller that we can say ATC, right? And we have two types of people. One is military, and another one is civil flying we have in our country. So I have taken 10 respondent, as we are very restricted to reach out to them. So in division, I have taken 5 from military aviations and 5 from civil aviations. So I collected that data from 5 respondents from military and 5 from civil aviations. So from that study, I have found the causes, what factors, what causes they have about the stress. They are high responsibilities, the complex of their working environment, time resources, the time pressure, because of some kind of emergencies, the delays. So they have shift schedules, emergency situations, workload fluctuations, and environmental factors. Sometimes technology is not in their hands, so because they have a stress of safe landing and safe takeoff, and while the aircraft is in sky, so there is a turbulence. So everything they have to handle in one time. And I got to know that in findings, I found that the military people who working in military, they have they have like peak traffic hours. Any time they have that flying, so they have more pressure for traffic peak hours. And in another, they have so many they have 3 schedules in civil aviations, and but they have different kind of landings and takeoffs. So they have that pressure, timing pressure also there, and they have to take speedy actions. I mean, not in civil aviations, but as compared to military, they have that stress. They have to take quick actions while they are facing these kind of emergencies. So in military, they have one proper working shift which they have to follow. But in civil aviations, they don't have any particular working. They keep on rotating working shift, and they have 3 shifts, 3 schedules they are following of different times. So they don't have any fixed shift. So they are in more stress, and role of ambiguity is there, and there are unique situations are there. So these are some factors which we got, that this stress affects their health. This stress factors affect their personal traits also. They also have family problems. They also have health issues like they got depression, anxiety, and heart rate is always high. So what we can do, we can take strategies to overcome these kind of stresses. Due to this, as the Frankfurt airspace is practicing, they are giving more breaks to them. They keep their air ATCs more stress-free by giving them a break and relaxing environment. They doesn't create any pressure on them, and more organizational support to them. And we have to improve more safety regarding their health, because we can create more relaxation training sessions, so that more frequently they can relax in their heartbeat, which is always high. So we can relax it them more frequently, and giving them up platforms where they can regularly or frequently share or discuss their occurrences, what happened to them, why they are in so much pressures. And because as we know, once we talk about their issues, once we talk about stress, we got some kind of relief, and we can back to the works with more motivation. So these are my results, which I have find. Thank you. This is it for this paper from my side. Any questions, if you have, you can ask.
Shivati, that's a good paper actually. Very few people talk about stress amongst air traffic controllers, and understanding what goes in to create a sense of satisfaction. So the function of HR is too huge a topic actually. It's too wide.
Yeah.
Maybe you could link it to leadership, because HR has so many functions, recruitment, performance management, learning and development. आप उसमें से एक function लेके उसको connect कीजिए. Maybe you could say the role of leadership, or the role of training, or the role of something. The role of leadership, I can say the role
Training.
of
I think training department would be better.
training, yeah,
because they
HR is
create
very huge,
sessions like that.
Shivati.
Yeah.
It's very vast.
Yeah. Yeah.
तो आप उसमें से एक ये लेके, and also that is one feedback. Second, what are the indicators of stress? Why do people experience stress in the ATC that you should highlight? I don't know whether you must be having it in
The
your paper.
workload, yeah, it's in my paper. I have a very limited PPTs number, so I just have to put all these things in these 8 PPTs. So I couldn't. The workload is more.
So who you
That
have to
is
write, you have to mention. No? I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. Okay, thanks. I'll be presenting my next paper in this continuity also. Am I allowed to do that? Because I have one more paper to present.
You have 2 papers, Shivati?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my second paper, that is the studying the impact of telecommunicating and information technology on employee performance using job satisfaction as an interviewing variable.
Which paper number is this? Let me just see. Let me find out. Wait.
It is on 15th number.
Studying
On
the impact of
14th I am there.
telecommunicating. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. As we all know that we faced Corona session. This paper is related to that. That doesn't mean that work from home is started just yet. That is started from far more when internet is not working. People work remotely, work from home and present and give their commodities to the marketers to sell. So now, because of Corona, it is more popular term work from home. Now, why have chosen IT sector? Because this is the most prominent sector, which is more working while in COVID, but where everybody else have very limited sources. But this IT sector worked, I think, did a tremendous job. Everybody where their GDPs and growths are in fallen space, but the IT sector is the one sector who growth is, I think, more in COVID times. So my objectives are, I have covered as I'm living in Punjab. So Chandigarh and Mohali are the more growing hubs for IT sector. So I have chosen two cities here, and my respondents are 500 people, 500 employees. That is 250 from Chandigarh and 250 from Mohali. And I have collected the data from 50 companies, 25 from Chandigarh and 25 from Mohali. There are more objectives, but as the paper is more, we cannot share that much data. So I have choose these two objectives to analyze the positive.
Shivati,
Yes.
Shivati, 1 second.
Yeah.
You're still on the previous presentation. I would want you to present the current paper that you're presenting.
Okay,
because I can still see the ATC paper.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes. What's the topic? If you can show the title slide.
Yeah. This is my title, Studying the Impact of Telecommunicating and Information Technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
So these are my
full screen your presentation.
Just a second.
Ma'am, you continue, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
To analyze the positive and negative factors which affect the life balance of the IT sector and found out the suitability of work from home as a permanent or a transitory arrangement. So here is my research, which I have already shared, the respondents, number of respondents, and there are instruments which I have covered. I have questionnaire. I have made it, and I have divided into 5 parts, and they are demographic information about the employee who work from home experience, how's their experience, what is the productivity, and how's their jobs, are they satisfied from the job, and what are their future preferences for this is what I found. They are more flexible while they are working from home, so they are more productive, and but there is a challenge that there is no limitation of work and their personal life. They are going hand in hand, so there is no restriction of hours of working, and also in involving in a personal state. And there are people who was working that time, they are also facing technological issues because they don't have you can say the equipments and the system enough with them. And gradually they got, but initially when this starts, they don't have that technological, they face technological issues. So communication and collaborations are there, they smoothly talk on that. The issues were resolved through the online meetings, and organization support have to be there, and their productivity strategies we have to create while we are working from home, so that we can manage our employees. We have to make a schedule the policies and which we are following, and so that there is one more issue they are facing in work life challenges, that they are not interacting with people, they are not interacting with the employees, their colleagues. So in productivity strategies, we also have to make sure that they have, if they are working from home, how we can manage, how we can plan, so that the employees are also interacting with their colleagues also. So mm, so these are the things, and yes, people, we have one what you can say, it's a prediction from research that by 2025 the IT sector will be more projected with work from home, as the Tata consultancy, they have already put their employees on work from home, and they give them liberty. Only 25% of people who are working in from premises, and so the research is concluded here that employee more productive while they are working from home, and they are, because they are more relaxed while they are working from home, and their issues were resolved online meetings, and they want more policies, more structures, like where they can work from home, because they feel relaxed, they don't have any pressure, they can do the work by their own, and this is it. So actually, there is a saying, the people, while I have put the COVID term in it, that work from home is over now, no more COVID is going to come, and we cannot, even though after the COVID, there are so many reasons when people are working from home. We faced floods in 2023, then people again switched to work from home. Still now, as we all know, the Delhi is in a high rate of infectious air. So people are recommended to work from home till the environment is not friendly to them. So the term this work from home is still on. So we have to make strategies, and we have to make policies, HR policies, and to make people work from home. Thank you. This is from my side. Is there any question? So you can ask.
Shivati.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Last slide, Shivati. Last slide.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Just put that last slide.
Okay. Is my screen is still on?
Yeah, your slideshow is still there. Just one slide prior to this.
Is it visible?
No, no, no.
Okay. Is it now? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's visible now. Don't you think it's too heavily loaded, Shivati? Findings and conclusions. So I don't know. I would want it to be supported with data. You know, when I say data or some implications, although you've explained, you know, but again, like the previous one which I said. It's too generic,
Yeah.
Shivati.
Okay.
It's too
Yes.
generic. Make it very focused because see all these again, it's very common. You'll get them in review papers and in articles. But if it's
Yeah.
a research paper, it has to be focused towards your study. Otherwise, it looks
Yeah.
very generic. And how
Yeah.
is it linked to VIKSIT Bharat?
Ma'am, as I have mentioned that we have to make policies for more work from home. So the people who are still are not able to work from offices, so they are not working. As in our city, there are so many women who want to work, but they are not able to go to offices, and they are not able to manage both the things hand in hand. If we provide this platform to them, so if there are particular policies to them, so they can work and they can come forward for that. So that will contribute to Viksit Bharat also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Shivati, I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
I'm
much.
sure I liked the air traffic, like, make it a little bit more specific. Okay?
Yeah, sure. No. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Good.
Thank you.
Are you there, Anina ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now. Please share your PPT.
Okay, ma'am. I'm using my cell phone. Just a minute.
No issue.
Yeah, ma'am. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me introduce myself. My name is Anina. I'm a research scholar at the University of Kerala, and I have my research article title is Influence of Push and Pull, the Factors Fueling Health Workers Migration from Kerala. My co-author is Dr. Anuji S. She is my research supervisor, assistant professor at TKMM College, Nangayarkulangara. Coming to the introduction part, there is an increasing migration from Kerala, especially among health professionals, due to push and pull factors. Push factors, limited opportunities, challenges in local healthcare system. Pull factors are high demand for Indian trained healthcare professionals in high income countries. The global statistics shows that 69,000 Indian trained doctors in major countries, and as per the ODPEC report, migration doubled in 2020 to 21 compared to 2018 to 19. Current trend shows that there is high demand for nurses from Kerala, particularly in Europe. Future outlook is that projected increase in global migration of health workers due to the demand and supply gap. Here, the objective of the study is that first one is to study the influence of push factors on health workers migration from Kerala, and to study the influence of pull factors on health workers migration from Kerala. Here, the hypotheses are, first, the null hypothesis is there is no significant push factors influencing health workers migration from Kerala. And the alternative hypothesis is there are significant push factors influencing health workers migration from Kerala. The second hypothesis, that is the null hypothesis, there is no significant pull factors influencing health workers migration from Kerala. Again, the alternative hypothesis for that is there are significant pull factors influencing health workers migration from Kerala. Here, the methodology shows that study is here using quantitative research, and the survey research design is used. And the sampling method is convenient sampling. Sample size is 50 respondents. The criteria is health workers from Kerala who have migrated to UK have been used as the respondents. Instrument used is questionnaire. Data analysis is using the multiple regression analysis. And the purpose is to identify the influence of push and pull factors affecting migration decisions. And we have found out that there is a strong relation between push factors as well as the pull factors. And we have identified the factors, that is the push factors, as low wages, limited career growth, poor working condition, job insecurity, and high workload and stress.
and there is an inadequate health infrastructure. Using the regression, we have got the regression value, that is the p-value as shown in this slide. And coming to the pull factors also, the pull factors are high salary, better career opportunities, improved working condition, better quality of life, etc. And here also we have used the regression analysis and found out findings part shows that here push factors are the low wages, career growth, poor working conditions, etc. So here the significant value is less than 0.05. So we have rejected the null hypothesis and accepted the alternative. So we say that there are push factors that impact the migration decision. Similarly, in the case of pull factors, high salary, better career opportunity, improved working conditions, etc. All these values are less than 0.05. So we can reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis. So here we can come to the conclusion that all these p-values indicate a strong influence of both push and pull factors and shows a positive relation between each factor and migration intention. So here we can conclude that there are push and pull factors that influence the health workers' migration from Kerala. Thank you. That's all my presentation. Yeah, ma'am.
You were presenting from your cell phone, am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Laptop is not working. I don't know why.
Okay, no problem. We've all faced all these issues.
Yeah.
Anina, how do you link it to VIKSIT Bharat?
Actually, my research topic is about migration of health workers and its impact on healthcare sector. From that, one objective is to study the influence of this push and pull factors. From there only, I created this paper.
So
actually,
according to you, who are health workers?
Health workers means who are like associated with this healthcare institutions like doctors, nurses, midwives, and pharmacists, all of them.
So you're trying to assess a large scope. The scope of your study is very, very vast, no?
Yeah, I've said this is my research topic. Yeah. From that, one objective is only this paper.
Okay, this suggestion is for all the paper presenters. From your research, you please extract one portion or one part. You can't have all your objectives stuffed inside a 5 minutes presentation. Keep it focused. Otherwise, I will be forced to ask questions. And then there won't be good answers. Otherwise, your topic is good because focusing on health workers is very crucial and the way forward because they come under essential services for us. So it's a good topic, but you can be a little bit more focused. Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Femina ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Uh,
So I am requesting to the present participant, they can stop sharing the screen so that I can share my screen.
Okay, Anina ma'am, please.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Kindly
Welcome,
share
Femina
your...
ji, welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Meenakshi, how many more papers to go, Meenakshi?
Ma'am, hardly 7, ma'am.
7?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Namaskar to one and all present here on the dais and off the dais. I'm very thankful to the Amity University. They give us such a nice platform. So I am Dr. Femina Bakht from Sophia Girls College, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology. And my topic is Global Workforce Harmony through Bharat Leadership Principles. And these workforce harmony, I am just try to correlate with the leadership principles so that we can work on a framework for an inclusive and sustainable organizational culture. So how these leadership principles can be worked as a pillar for inclusive and sustainable organizational culture where we can promote workforce harmony, because now we are working on a global platform. So this is the basic idea which I gone through since last 11th month, and I'm reading through a literature a lot, and that is why it is purely literature based paper. And future I'm going to develop it is on a quantitative based paper, and I am trying to develop the concept in a more quantitative framework manner. So as we talk about the introduction, so the major leadership principles which I collected the most relevant from the literature and the reviews which I gone through is dharma. All are Sanskrit words, and they are stand for the leadership qualities and the principles. Dharma, ahimsa, seva, and samatva. Dharma here, if I can see, so I can correlate it. The more it is a principle which is more focusing on righteousness, which can be definitely going to coordinate with the right decision making power. Ahimsa is definitely a term which is more used by the the symbol of the leader, I can say Mahatma Gandhi, and the term is stand for non-violence. And if I see this word as a leadership perspective, I can say when you have this quality, so you are more on a very rational thought process side. You are taking the things in a very peaceful way, peaceful in the sense in a way of very mindful manner, and this can helpful in resolving the conflicts which is arising in the workplace culture. Seva, definitely this term is a stand for selfless service, which I interpreted, being a psychologist, this term to more to the social responsibility. The social
Okay, Femina, I want to
responsibility.
intervene here. Femina,
Sure, ma'am.
what
Sure,
is
ma'am.
this? Yeah, Femina. Sorry, I just wanted to ask,
No,
नहीं तो मैं भूल जाऊंगी. What is the source of these 4 dimensions? Is it generated or you? How did
No,
it come?
there is a review. There are literature, there are books, and there are reviews. I submitted all the things in my full paper, ma'am. You can go through it, all the reviews and links and books.
So from various papers, you have summarized that these are the 4 dimensions of leadership principles.
This is basically I correlated from Gita, from Gita, and now these dimensions are used in literature also, in books, ma'am. And now I try to more collect to connect these dimensions in a quantitative manner. So I need to develop some questionnaire, and I make this aspect in a more quantitative manner, where being a psychologist, this is my more concern ki workplace harmony and work mental health ki aaj hum itna baat kar rahe hain workplace ko leke, to maybe they are the contributors. So I'm just I think it is a very long term thought, but I just keep on working on them.
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you. And the last one is samavta, which means equality, where the leaders can where the leader can talk about the more emotional resilience. I correlate this term to the more towards the positive psychology, emotional resilience. Resilience is very important when you are bouncing back with the more positive energy towards any difficult situation. So this is all about my framework, which is now purely a bit theoretical, but I want to convert it more into a quantitative aspect. The objective of the study is very clear. To analyze the role of ethical decision making, as I'm talking about the righteousness making towards the workforce harmony, impact of spiritual leadership on employee well-being, as I'm talking about equality, explore the applicability of Bharat leadership in multinational corporations, or the corporate culture, which we are where we are talk about the global workforce harmony, to investigate how Bharat leadership principles foster emotional intelligence in diverse team. Now, this is the challenge in the corporate culture because they are dealing with the various diverse aspect, diverse workforce they are having. So this is really a very challenging for them to maintain all the things on a common platform and to develop the strategies for implementing Bharat leadership principles. These 4 principles, I just want, it can be implemented by the leadership to the training programs. And the last, to identify the role of collective leadership in crisis management. So these are the objectives which I came through a lot of literature and I try to frame it. The methodology is very simple. My research approach is purely qualitative and data collection is totally secondary, which I try to make it primary first by developing some questions or some testing material. So the findings is which I find after reading the literature, that is very clear. Ethical decision making and workforce harmony, spiritual leadership and employee welfare, emotional intelligence in diverse team, and applicability of Bharat leadership in multinational corporations. So on the basis of these findings, definitely the important part is implementing. So what is the what I try to conclude with this findings is integrated Bharat leadership values into organizational training and development programs to cultivate emotional intelligence. I am more concerned about the emotional aspect of the workforce. That is very important. Emotional intelligence, ethical decision making, and a culture of collective responsibility. Because if I see the theory, I also compare the Western models of the organization and the Indian models. And from when I go through these models, I come up with these words and I correlate it with the different terminologies. Developing a code of ethics and cultivating inclusivity. With this, I sum up my presentation. Thank you so much. Ma'am, you want any slide which I can go back?
No, what is the methodology you have used?
Methodology, ma'am, it is purely, ma'am, it is purely this secondary data collection, which I'm just gone through the literature since 11th month. I'm working on this concept, so I gone through too much research and literature. So research findings are very few with the consent of these comparative and these terminology, but literature I could I can go through text.
Okay.
Next is, any more questions, ma'am? Dr. B. Padmaja, ma'am, any more questions, ma'am?
Sorry, Parul ji, क्या बोले? What did you say?
Ma'am, और कोई question आप पूछना चाहती हैं? Or we can process for next one.
Yeah, we can proceed.
Okay. So next is Manjit Singh. Are you there, sir? Manjit Singh.
He is there in the meeting. Manjeet Singh, yes, he's sharing. Manjeet sir, please open
Good
your
afternoon,
mic.
ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible. Please go to the first page. Please full screen and please finish your in 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I am Manjeet Singh, research scholar of Central Institute of Haryana. My topic is role of emotional intelligence and soft skill in corporate sector. Firstly, we go through the introduction of emotional
Sorry to
intelligence.
interrupt you. Can you select your first page, front page of the presentation?
So this one?
It's visible findings and conclusion.
No, sir. फर्स्ट पेज दिख रहा है सर यहाँ रोल ऑफ इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस एंड सॉफ्ट स्किल्स मैंने जो प्रेजेंट कर रखा है उसमें
Sir, please reshare your PPT. We have seen only we finding and conclusion. Okay, we can't see your first page and requested you to please sum up in a very short period of time because we are running shortly.
Ma'am, now you
Yes.
can see first page.
Yes.
Okay. My topic is role of emotional intelligence and soft skill in corporate sector. Started with introduction. The word emotional comes from first time Charles Darwin book. Charles Darwin, in his book The Expression of Emotions in Man and Animals, expressed the word emotions. In this book, he said the emotions is important for everyone, for human or for man or animal both. After this, in 1920, Thorndike introduced the concept of social intelligence, which involved the ability to understand the manage social relationship. Till now, only emotion word comes into the literature. But in 1990, Peter Solvay and John Mayer introduced the word emotional intelligence and defined it as the ability to monitor and work with one's own and others' emotions. From where this word emotional intelligence get popularized is from the book from Daniel Goleman. Name of the book is Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Daniel Goleman written a book on emotional intelligence in 1995. Now we will discuss on soft skills. Soft skills are the interpersonal or non-technical skills or intangible skills that are valuable in a wide range of personal and professional contexts. Okay, soft skills are often developed through experience, practice, and social interaction, and are typically evaluated through behavioral interviews. Sir, is my slide is moving?
No, sir, your slides are not moving. It's still on the front page.
I don't know what is the problem.
Please check
are not
once
moving.
if it's moving or not.
My slides are not moving.
Selective, yeah, now it's moving, sir. That.
Objective slide. Is it visible?
No. You can continue where you left off. It's moving, sir.
It's moving. Okay, sir. Now it comes to objectives. My first objective is to investigate the relationship between emotional intelligence and soft skill in improving corporate efficacy. And my second objective is to ascertain the essential soft skills that enhance emotional intelligence for increased employability in corporate sector. As we know, during time, our literacy rate is increasing, but we can also see that with the literacy rate, our unemployment rate is also increasing. So we can say that there are some other factors beyond the education or beyond the literacy that can affect the employability of the students or the youth or the respondents which are try to enter in the corporate sector. So emotional intelligence and soft skills here we taken as the other components which we will analyze in our study. Methodology, primary data used and also secondary data used in our paper. Students are surveyed for primary research purpose. Secondary research on soft skill training methodologies was performed using book, journals, and articles. 250 respondents were used for collecting data. A cover note detailing the survey objective of the researcher and instruction for the questionnaire was utilized to gather data. The student questionnaire encompasses the variables and conception of soft skill, their significance, and program of soft skill development. Finding and conclusion. Corporate sector is integrating extensive soft skill training programs to add the requirement for interpersonal competencies in the contemporary corporate environment. These programs, prevalent in Delhi NCR, impart technical skills that enhance employability and emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is essential for self-management and establishing business ties. Corporate executives prioritize self-initiative, reliance, and positive attitudes, proactive problem solving and engagement, collaboration, empathy, and adaptability facilitate diverse employees' cooperation, while negotiation, leadership, and dispute resolution ensure operational efficiency. We can say that communication and presentation skills, teamwork and collaboration skills, time management and organization, problem solving, and critical thinking. These are the four main soft skills that a corporate management required in a employee. If a employee have these skills, then definitely he can get employment in the corporate sector and he will be successful in his future. Thank you.
Okay, Manjeet ji.
Yes, ma'am.
Come to your objective slide, Manjeet. Objectives. Hello, Manjeet.
1 minute. Is it visible, ma'am? Objective. Is it visible, ma'am? Objectives.
It is to investigate the relationship between emotional intelligence and soft skills to improve corporate efficacy and to ascertain the essentials of talents that enhance. Where? What is the scope of your study, Manjeet? Whom are you studying? Who is your target audience?
Ma'am, my target audience is the students or the graduates or postgraduates who complete their courses and want to enter in the corporate sectors.
Once again, sorry, who are your target audience? Who?
Graduates or postgraduates who completed their courses and want to enter in the corporate sectors.
Graduates.
Yes, ma'am, graduates and
तो वो कहाँ
postgraduates.
mentioned है?
नहीं है ma'am, sorry ma'am.
And methodology, show me your methodology. So how did you collect the data?
Ma'am, primary data from the students.
How many students?
250 students.
Is it mentioned? Come to your methodology slide.
Yes, ma'am. Is it visual, ma'am? Methodology slide.
Yes.
250 students.
Did you give it to them in Google Doc?
Yes, ma'am. In Google, some in Google Doc and some are in physical.
Some in physical.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And findings? Show me your findings. It's very general, no? What is the specific findings that you identified? So it's very general.
Ma'am, specific findings are soft skills. Four main soft skills: communication and presentation skill, teamwork and collaboration, time management and organization, problem solving and critical. These are the four main soft skills that a corporate manager required in his employee.
That is
like
very
when
common.
graduates,
It is understood. Mr. Manjeet, that is very common. What about digital skills? Emotional intelligence, digital skills. Today work is all about in the hybrid mode, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Technical skills, technological skills, critical thinking skills. These are very general. Positive attitude, communication, those are very general.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it? See, I do a lot of training, Manjeet. I know what exactly is, is the implication of soft skills for students. So it's very general, Manjeet ji.
Okay.
Make it a little bit more focused.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next is Dr. Soma Bose. Are you there, ma'am?
Hello. This will be presented actually by my research scholar. She's there, Titli Dhar.
Sure, ma'am. It's full screen. To please sum it up within 3 to 4 minutes.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, it's visible. Please full screen, ma'am.
Yeah, actually, I'm having some network issues. So I would like to keep my screen off because otherwise I will be, I think, again moved out of this system. I've joined from two systems here.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead, Dr. Soma.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to present our paper, The Role of Digital Technology in Fostering Organizational Citizenship Behavior through the Creation of an Engaging Employer Branding. I am Titli Dhar, and I will be presenting this work alongside my esteemed co-authors, Dr. Soma Bose Biswas and Dr. Shukti Mandal, and they are my guides and co-guides. Okay, so to start, we must address the environment we operate. Abani wall that stands for brittle, anxious. This challenging context demands that ability to their workforce. Since COVID-19 pandemic, employee value propositions have changed significantly, mostly as a consequence of the stark shifts in business context and the changing roles and expectations of employees in the present era. Consequently, firms have adjusted their employee value proposition to recruit and retain top talent across the longer periods. Organizations strive to integrate these EVPs into their digital technologies to cultivate an engaging organizational culture and hence enhancing employee happiness and fostering a connected workforce. Millennials and Gen Z, who dominate today's workforce, are digital natives with shifting loyalties and high mobility. They prioritize emotional connections with brands, making employer branding thrive in flexible and human-centered workplaces that leverage innovations and efficiency. The objective of our paper are to examine how digital media shapes employer branding, to evaluate the impact of employer branding on OCV, and to analyze how branding influences employee engagement and their willingness to go beyond their formal responsibilities. Okay. This paper is based on qualitative approach. A semi-structured interviews with content analysis was chosen as an appropriate method to examine how OCV is facilitated by using employer branding through digital technology. Focusing on HR professionals and how digital employer branding shape OCV, 42 semi-structured interviews were conducted among HR employees combined with IT staff. Among them, 58 were male and 42 were female participants and had more than 10 years of experience. The respondents were selected via purposive sampling and to provide experience and knowledge on digital branding practices within their organization. The HR experts and middle-level HR professionals provided in-depth insights about the strategies, challenges, and impact of digital branding on employee engagement and OCB through this approach. Open-ended questions were asked during the interviews, allowing participants to elaborate on their organizational digital branding practices and major areas of employee engagement that is conducive for OCB. These interviews were audio recorded and with respondents' permission, and these were transcribed and thematically analyzed. The findings of my study was, we found that one major finding that was the power of employee advocacy. When employees share authentic experiences online, it builds trust and credibility for the brand, far surpassing the impact of corporate communication. We also found that digital media fosters transparency and social proof. Platforms such as Glassdoor enable job seekers, especially the Gen Z and millennials, to form honest perception about the companies based on aggregated employee experiences. Organizations that prioritize recognition, authenticity, and open communication encourage employees to engage in behaviors beyond their formal roles, thus boosting OCB. In conclusion, digital media is more than a communication tool. It is a strategic enabler that cultivates an engaging, authentic employer brand, ultimately contributing to organizational success. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. How do you plan to link this to VIKSIT Bharat, Dr. Titli?
I'm not yet doctor. I'm still pursuing my PhD.
Okay, Titli, how would you plan to link it? And in what way is OCB impacting organizational effectiveness? Do you teach OB? Do you teach organizational behavior?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you must be using OCB regularly when you talk about behavior and other dimensions of behaviors and employee workplace engagement.
Correct, ma'am.
Yeah. So how do you
Right.
see
This paper,
how do you see the impact of technology, and therefore how is OCB being impacted due to digital interventions, and therefore how is it impacting VIKSIT Bharat?
ma'am, your voice broke in between. Could you please repeat again?
How is technology impacting OCB?
Right, ma'am. See, ma'am, what we have found is basically today's workforce is Gen Z and millennials, right? So what they are mostly searching for employer who are active on social media. So any negative comment is also affecting the Gen Zs, and even those negative comments are also affecting them in a positive way, because they are seeing it as an authentic employer branding. Because if you see today, all the kind of the companies that the one they put up negative comments, they also give the positive reply to those negative comments. So Gen Z and millennials are also supporting those type of social media approvals. So that way, they are very much connected to the organizations, and they are mostly selecting those kind of organizations who are transparent in their effort. And if my paper, if you are asking how it is connected to VIKSIT Bharat, by addressing the aspect of workforce developing and organizational growth in a digitally transforming era.
So then you keep it with respect to Gen Z and millennials, no? Then you define the age group. You say 20 to 27 or 18 to 25. You define the age group and you restrict the paper to Gen Z.
Okay.
Otherwise, there are too many dimensions in your paper. You see, on one hand, you're saying digital technology, you're talking about OCB, you're talking about employer branding, and you're talking about engaging employees. So there are 4 or 5 dimensions. You focus it to Gen Z, then the paper will be more, you can narrow down the scope. I always see the scope of a paper. That's very important.
Sure,
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. so much, ma'am, for your input. We will definitely incorporate this.
Next is Rakhi Chauhan. Ma'am, are you there?
Hello, good
Yes,
afternoon,
ma'am.
ma'am.
You can start.
Yes, ma'am, share the map.
Rakhi ma'am, are you there? Okay, so next participant is Vandana Kumari.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, you can present the form.
Sir, just give me a minute. I'm just
Sure.
sharing.
You can say the
If you're having any issue, we can share your presentation now.
Sir, just give me a minute.
Sure.
Uh, yes, sir. I think it is shared from your end.
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Okay, so I am Vandana and I am from Vanasthali University. And my topic is breaking barriers, overcoming gender stereotype in women's entrepreneurship. Starting with the introduction, the digital revolution is accelerating women's entrepreneurship, critical for sustainable growth and gender equality. Women entrepreneurs in India are advancing due to economic liberalization, but face low participation rate, especially in rural areas. Barriers like stereotypes, limited access to resource and networking restrict women's entrepreneurial potential. Empowered women drive economic change, promoting independence and social impact. A supportive ecosystem with policy, finance, and mentorship is essential to foster women's entrepreneurship and economic inclusion. This research paper urges collective action to empower women entrepreneurs for a fairer, more prosperous society. Objective of the study. The primary objective of this paper are analyze the role of women's entrepreneurship in economic participation, identify barrier and challenges in women's entrepreneurial endeavors, explore strategies for empowerment and ecosystem support. Methodology. This study utilizes a comprehensive literature review to analyze the barriers, opportunity, and strategy relevant to women's entrepreneurship. Literature review of existing studies on women entrepreneurship, examination of challenges and supportive ecosystem, comparative analysis on policy impacts and supportive structure. Social entrepreneurship. So social entrepreneurship aims to solve social issues through entrepreneurial skill, prioritizing social impact over profit. Key characteristics. Social entrepreneurs use innovative methods to drive systematic change, focusing on inclusive development area like poverty, education, and health. Global impact. Social entrepreneurship supports global goals like Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, contributing to financial diversification and social revitalization. Opportunity for women entrepreneurship. So opportunity like digital accessibility, concise consumerism like demand for sustainable and ethical product benefits women-led businesses often aligned with these values. Unique skills, women's strength in collaboration, communication, and purpose-driven leadership foster successful venture. Support system, government and non-profit program provide training, mentorship, funding to support women's entrepreneurship. Example of successful women-led businesses like Nika, Buycoin, VLCC, we are having successful women businesses. Challenge faced by women entrepreneurship. So like financial hurdles, gender biasness, societal expectation like rigid gender roles and discrimination that limit investment in women entrepreneurship, and similar investment challenges like low financial literacy and patriarchal norms hinder women's investment decision. The transformative power of women entrepreneurship. Women entrepreneurs drive economic growth, poverty reduction, and empowerment by overcoming challenges like family responsibility. They contribute significantly to job creation, skill development, and MSME growth, competing with male entrepreneurs through innovation. Despite obstacles like market access, gender bias, and financial limitation, women foster creativity and business growth, especially through social media and e-commerce. Their role in post-pandemic recovery is crucial, providing employment opportunity and supporting other women in their communities. Policies, network, and mentorship are essential to further empowering women and enhancing their business innovation. Fostering women's entrepreneur success. So factor influencing success, family support, creativity, financial resources, government aid, entrepreneurial strategy are key to women's entrepreneurial success. Mentorship and training, peer mentoring and training program enhance motivation, skill, and success for women entrepreneurship, especially in STEM fields. Government intervention policies like financial support and educational investment promote women's entrepreneurship, but need better coordination and gender-specific tailoring. Financial access, financial inclusion, and awareness are critical for the growth of women-owned business, with studies highlighting its positive impact in Zimbabwe, India, and Nigeria. Thank you.
Professor Vandana, where is the research in this? आपने इसमें क्या research किया है?
Actually, ma'am, I have collected the literature review from the last study and
Where is
found
then
the
at least create a framework, no? Everybody is just presenting some literature review. Come out, what are the findings of the literature review? Create a framework or come out with some model. These are very general. What is the research angle to it?
Okay, ma'am, I
Where is the
will.
research in this, Ms. Vandana? Who is saying
Ma'am,
that
it is.
empowering?
Ma'am, this research is secondary in nature, so the study of literature review is done and the collective one.
Okay. So, for example, you say that supportive ecosystem collaborating amongst governments. There must be some paper supporting it. Where is the paper and the author supporting this? It looks very general, no?
Okay, ma'am.
Add some citation. Where is the citation? Okay, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Ma'am, can
Ma'am,
we
we are-
move the next candidate?
Yeah. Anyone.
Okay. So next is Gauri R.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Gauri here. Good afternoon.
You can present now.
I'm just sharing this through.
Ma'am, we are presenting your paper.
Okay. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Gauri here. I'm research scholar of Amity University, Madhya Pradesh, and I will be presenting the research titled named Talent Retention Strategies, Programs and Initiatives of IT Tech Giants. I would like to thank my guide and the co-author, Dr. Neeraj Kumar Dubey and Dr. Sindhu Kumar for completing this paper. And these are the introductions. Technology giants or MNC companies have a significant influence with wide geographical coverage in specific industry for a particular period in time due to their market capitalization and technological prowess. And IT companies deliver products, services, and enable processes using several software applications in diverse fields. So the purpose of our study is to study of various employee engagement strategies, programs and initiatives for talent retention by analysis of policies and practices employed by top 5 multinational information technology organizations in India. My aim is to provide insights into recent alignments of employee engagement strategies towards talent retention over the traditional employee engagement concepts of IT tech giants, with specific emphasis to Indian ecosystem. So the top 5 multinational IT companies listed in Fortune Indian 500 companies has taken. So Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL and L&T, who is having branches in South India, is mainly focused. And publicly available information published on their respective career web portals and secondary data aimed at identifying the gaps in terms of policies and practices of employee engagement measures have taken. And it was cross-validated with published reports, trends, and indicators from strategic SHRM experts with special reference to Indian IT industry. So we have gone through all the websites of the career web portals of the IT companies, these top 5 IT companies, and we found these employment engagement factors. They are focusing more. So organizational culture, diversity, equality and inclusion, learning development, talent management, employee feedback mechanism, corporate social responsibility, reward and recognition program, flexibility, employee experience, workspace, health and well-being, challenge in workspace, and workplace benefit programs and teamwork. These are the factors they are focusing on whenever they are in their career web portals. So the results are they are focusing on organization related factors and then remuneration related factors, employee related factors, and workplace experience factors. These are the 4 factors they are mainly focused. So organization related factors are learning and development, diversity, equality and inclusion, organizational culture, and corporate social responsibility, which have come the so these are the points as per the industry. I have got like 5 industries. They all are getting more. They all are focusing on these factors more, and employee related factors, employee feedback mechanism, and talent management and flexibility comes in the second. And remuneration related factors, rewards and recognition, health and well-being, and workspace comes in the third. And workplace related experience factors, employee experience, teamwork, and workplace benefits, and programs and challenges in work. And so the result is like organization and employee related factors have higher impact than the hygiene factors of remuneration and workplace and employee experiences. So my future studies is to include quantitative analysis to find the effectiveness of these engagement practices and assess the impact in talent retention. And also it is suggested to have exit interviews of employees migrating from tech giants to startups, and entry interviews to tech giants from startups should be analyzed for obtaining actionable intelligence for designing talent retention and employee engagement strategies, programs, and initiatives for the future. Thank you.
Okay, Gauri. I heard your presentation. Again, I will ask the same question that I'm asking everybody. See, IT tech giants, talent. What is the newness to your paper? What is the
Ma'am,
novelty? This is
yes.
already a study that has been done by many.
Ma'am, actually, last time I have selected four factors, and then I have circulated, I have prepared a questionnaire related to the factors, and I have circulated. So in this research, I wanted to know that the tech giants, what they are focusing. But many employees are coming out and then joining the startups. So it is a kind of identification. They are all providing these, they are focusing on these employee engagement factors, but still so many employees are dropping out and joining in startup or starting
So why
their.
don't you, Gauri, why don't you pick up one retention strategy and explain that? Even if you say, one retention strategy, how it is impacting the organization. If you just say talent retention, it is very wide. What is one, for example, having an open communication policy, bringing in more transparency. I don't see the strategies that you have come up with. It's all very general. You show your findings, Professor Gauri. See, now this is this data. What's the source data?
So actually, I have gone through every website of the top companies, and then was trying to explore their content and in which category it falls under. So, as per the study, it comes like they are focusing more on organizational culture and diversity, equality, and inclusion, and learning and development to retain
So what is
their
the
talent.
implication? Sorry, yeah.
So
So what is the implication then? How is CSR impacting? How is DEI impacting? That is that focus is required.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Am I?
Yes.
And see, you've mentioned in website. Website of what? Of which company?
Of these 5 companies, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, and L&T. I have analyzed only these 5 companies and came up with these factors.
But why this is already a done study, no, Professor Gauri? It's already done. I would appreciate if you do it in manufacturing sector. Those are underexplored startups. Nobody wants to focus on them because TCS, Google, Accenture, there are hundreds of thesis and research studies available in these areas. Why don't people study on lesser known sectors? You see, aviation, or for example, manufacturing sector, education sector. What is being done to retain talent in the education? Something like that. Because these are all very general, these findings. Or maybe you can, Professor Gauri, what you can do, yeah, see this, yeah, this slide, just keep it, this slide. See, you can pick up one of these. One second, I'll just minimize my. You can pick up one of these, say, for example, what are the organizational related factors which impact talent retention? You can pick up one of these and make a good paper out of it. This framework is good. Maybe I think you have created this framework by looking at various research papers.
Yes, ma'am. I have, from these factors, I have divided it. So
Correct.
These are all comes under organizational and these comes under employee. Right.
Okay. But it's the study is good, Professor Gauri. I'm not denying that, but it's too common.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
So, for example, Professor Gauri, are you still there? See, you're
Yes,
saying
ma'am.
initiatives taken. Yeah. See, you're saying initiatives taken of tech giants. So you can name a program like an initiative, for example,
Yes, ma'am. Actually, in
those
my research,
initiatives can be.
Yes, ma'am. In my paper, it is written like what are all the initiative names also and what are they providing. But in the presentation, I want to keep it shorter, so I didn't mention all the initiatives that are taken from these tech giants.
Okay, fine.
The next presenter is Raki Chauhan. Raki ma'am, are you there?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, there is a network issue. May you please present
sure.
the PPT? Thank you. My name is Raki Chauhan. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. You can proceed.
Thank you. Antecedents of engagement and their impact on adaptive performance is my topic of conference. So start with an introduction. COVID-19 pandemic affects the entire world, including India, and almost every sector gets affected, but SME, that is small medium enterprises, affected the most because these industries are basically set up in rural area. So they have to deal their business with very less resources, and the human resources that are employed are not very much educated and not very much trained. So this may be a reason that these suffer most because they are not able to adapt changes as quickly as others do. And for that purpose, there is a need to make them more engaged through various HR practices. So now my focus of this study is on lower class employees so that this will help to survive and compete this SME sector. Now the objective of the study is to whether well-being, training and development, autonomy at workplace, and quality of work life are antecedents of engagement. And second objective is to study whether engagement has an impact on adaptive performance. Continuation with it, the hypothesis, I will read only null hypothesis. There is no influence of well-being on engagement of employees. Second null hypothesis is there is no influence of training and development on engagement of employees. third null hypothesis, there is a no influence of quality of work life on engagement of employees. And fourth one is there's a no influence of autonomy at workplace on engagement of employees. All these four, A to D, are related to the objective one. And engagement of employees, the next slide, yes. Engagement of employees has no influence on adaptive performance. This is in context of second objective. Now the methodology part is quantitative research approach is used, and cluster method is used, that is regional cluster, to divide the Delhi NCR into four parts: Delhi, Haryana NCR, UP NCR, and Rajasthan NCR. And then purposive is used to collect the data of 877 private employees of SMEs, because they are very rigid to provide any kind of data. And SPSS and MOS 26 used for data analysis. And SAM and the regression method is used to collect the are used for data support. Now the findings, ma'am, yes. So this primary data have to go through first order analysis and second order analysis. And the upper part show the engagement and their antecedents that are this model structure. And the second one is related to entire one, that is antecedents, engagement, and the adaptive performance. And the model fit show a good result, having good T close value and all CMNDF and all. Now because MOS SPSS is used, so direct regression was not possible. So to calculate the regression equation, standardized regression weight is used. And from the first part, we can say, except autonomy at workplace, which is a weak representative of employee engagement, all factors are good representative. Although autonomy is also positive but weak, because the lower level employees don't need much autonomy at their workplace. They have to do some normal day routine chores and need not to take quiet decisions. Maybe the reason there is a weak autonomy at workplace. Now the second was show overall employee engagement has a good impact on employee performance. Now the regression weightage, the regression results, ANOVA table. ANOVA table shows there is a significant value, and both results are excellent. So here we can conclude that objective all two objectives and all hypotheses are all null hypotheses are rejected, and alternative is accepted. And they show a strong relationship between all antecedents and engagement, and to engagement to adaptive performance. Here, this the future for future research, the researcher may include MSME, medium. I work on SMEs, medium enterprises can be included and can be done on various regions of India. And I include both service sector and manufacturing without any segregation. So future research can be done on separately, or maybe done some kind of comparative study as well. Thank you so much, ma'am.
What is
Hello,
meant by
I'm audible.
adaptive performance?
Ma'am,
Yeah, what
adaptive
is meant by
performance.
adaptive performance?
Yes, ma'am. Adaptive performance is this. There's a many kind of performance like task performance, how you perform your task, and adaptive performance is related to matlab, how quickly or you are adaptive to the changes. Like I mentioned in this pandemic situation, so uh, adaptive to new circumstances, new technology, new behavior, new any kind of new rule regulations, anything which is new or that that is new to you, and you have to adapt to that. But if your performance in that is slow, it is a slow hai or medium or matlab you are faster. Matlab, it's all about adaptiveness.
Okay, fine.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Prachi Nirval, ma'am, you're next.
Thank you.
Prachi Nirval, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
are you
Just
there?
yes, sir. Is my screen is visible
No, ma'am, it's still blank.
now?
Okay, ma'am, we are sharing your presentation. Share.
Is it not visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Good afternoon to all of you. Here I am Prachi Nirval from Department of Management Study, Research Scholar of Bhagat Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya. My topic of presentation is Empowering MSMEs through Sustainable Business Practices, Pathway to Achieve the VIKSIT Bharat Vision. Now, the introduction part of my what is sustainable business practices? Sustainable business practices refer to the strategies and actions that companies adopt to operate in a way that is meet current economic, social, environmental needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. MSME are the backbone of any nation that support livelihoods both locally and nationally, especially for the artisan, improvised working class, the lower and middle classes, women, young entrepreneurs, and other vulnerable groups. The main objective behind creating MSMEs are the creation of job opportunities, increasing the standard of living, regional balance, mobilization of local skills and capital, etc. Throughout of these, MSME also play a crucial role in achieving the India's vision of Viksit Bharat by driving the employment, fostering innovation, and contributing to economic growth. Research methodology. In this paper, this review article aimed to provide the insight of the contribution of MSMEs in India economic growth and achievement the Viksit Bharat vision. Identify the prevailing challenges faced by MSME in adopting the sustainable business practices. Here, the review article have two specific questions.
Please come to your objectives, please. Ms.
The
Prachi, please come to your objectives.
Ma'am,
What
objectives
is read in the introduction? No
Ma'am,
need to read.
Okay, ma'am. Then objective of my study the to study the role of MSME in contributing to India's economic growth and the achievement of Viksit Bharat vision. And second one is to identify the challenges faced by MSME in adopting the sustainable business practices.
Okay.
The role of MSME in development of India. MSME provide the employment opportunities, export promotion, contribution to the GDP, and competitive technology. And challenges in implementing sustainable business practices.
We know that MSME have limited resources, lack of knowledge and awareness, lack of access to the information and training, lack of infrastructure, limited human resource. Because of this, they are facing lot of challenges to adopting the sustainable business practices as compared to the large organizations. The conclusion of my study is that India's MSME is currently at the forefront of the global explanations due to the competitiveness play a vital role in the economy, and it provides employment opportunity like contribution to GDP, competitive technology, export promotion. और इसी वजह से एमएसएमई बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस भी फेस कर रहा है क्योंकि उनके पास लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज होते हैं, लैक ऑफ नॉलेज, अवेयरनेस, जिस वजह से वो टोटली सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस प्रैक्टिसेस को अडॉप्ट नहीं कर पाते। जैसे कि वो रिड्यूस होते हैं, उनके पास ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट नहीं होती, तो इसी वजह से बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस वो फेस कर रहे हैं।
Right. Prachi, beta, I appreciate the paper is good, Prachi, but you can make it a little bit focused for the purpose of MSMEs face a lot of issues and difficulties. So what are the different ways SMEs can be empowered for sustainable business? You have to explain the sustainability factor, which I do. The sustainability को explain किया है?
Ma'am,
where is the research to it?
Where is the research?
Where is research in this paper? Have you analyzed any policy pertaining to sustainability? Any policy that the government has come up with to empower MSMEs? You can also do a policy analysis and present it.
मैम मैंने सिर्फ इतना किया था कि क्या कौन कौन से चैलेंजेस फेस कर रहे हैं वे और क्या रोल है एमएसएमई का। मैंने मैम पॉलिसीज अच्छे
तो
से
आपने
नहीं
चैलेंजेस को कैसे एनालाइज किया? आपने चैलेंजेस को कैसे एनालाइज? हाँ?
लिटरेचर रिव्यूज से।
Where is the literature review? कौन से पेपर्स को आपने एनालाइज किया? कहाँ पर? Where is your methodology in this paper? This review article aim to provide, and which review article, बेटा?
मैम मैंने सिर्फ गूगल स्कॉलर्स के Q1 पेपर से रिव्यू किया था।
तो उसको बताना है ना that I have reviewed. एक methodology को भी present करने का होता है. How did you review? ठीक. Fine.
Next present is Dr. Nazir.
Hello.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, good afternoon. Am I visible? My screen is visible and I'm audible?
Yeah, we are both audible and visible.
Dr. Nazir.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Actually, it was my PhD scholar who was supposed to present it, but she has some engagement today. She could not come, and she requested me on her behalf to present it. So our work is actually on carbon marketing. We're from associate professor in forestry. We're working on climate change and global warming. It was her work actually, her thesis work. So in this part, it's a carbon trading and carbon farming, which is one of the approaches to optimize carbon capture. It's been different what I have been listening, since morning. We have been carbon capturing or carbon trading. It's a landscape approach, by which we are implementing or storing this atmospheric carbon in soil, in atmosphere, in trees, or any other means, and then it's being sold to companies in this stock market, like we have rest of the stock markets. In case of VIKSIT Bharat, like the farming community in India, we have majority of the people who are concerned with agriculture or tree-based livelihood systems, and this system, this topic gives them the potential so that they can have trees at their home, and whatever CO2 stock they are capturing from the atmosphere, they can sell it in the form of carbon credits or have a trade potential in the market. So we have some objectives. This study was done in the central Kashmir here in J&K. The first objective of this study was to study those species which have very fast growth and have the potential to capture more carbon stock, to absorb this atmospheric CO2. And second was how much deforestation they are preventing, how much they are sequestering, so that our nearby forests, they are being preserved from their destruction. And third was what was the potential of this CO2 and atmospheric carbon, whatever they are stocking in that particular plant, and what is this total market potential. I'll go a little fast, otherwise it's a bit detailed topic. This was the study area, and this is our district Ganderbal here in central Kashmir, and there were blocks, urbanization and agroforestry systems, based on which we our this hypothesis was whether it was based on the block, whether on the administrative system, on the agroforestry system, or based on the urbanization. What were the factors which were contributing more to the carbon stock, so that those the people can get more revenue in terms of this. So the methodology was, we had a questionnaire-based survey first, and then we had methodologies in which we have done a destructive method of sampling. We had to cut down one tree of every species, and then we'll be able to see how much potential actually it has. So this is the methodology how we have calculated this greenhouse gas emission, and then its net stocking. This in the US stock market, the average price of this 1 megagram of CO2 equivalent, which is 1 ton of carbon dioxide absorbed by a particular plant system, is taken into consideration, and the rate, as per it's given Asian offset suppliers, they are giving some around $2.5 per megagrams of carbon dioxide equivalent. They are selling it to the farmers. So these are some findings. I will go straight away to this. These are the tree species, and this is what these are 4 administrative blocks in this district, and based on the population, based on the blocks, we have segregated it into different categories, and based on this we can see the headquarter, which was Ganderbal, where the people population density is much more. That was having good potential because the land area was very less in that area, and they had utilized it efficiently as compared to rural areas where we have enough land as compared to this central main town area. Then second is agroforestry systems. These are the different systems. These are the practices in which we contribute different type of we constitute a system having different type of crop combinations, and based on this we could find, like, we have horti silvipastoral system, which is the best potential here in Indian Himalayan region, like in Shimla, Uttarakhand, or JNK, and this system can be replicated in those areas as well. And third was, like again I said, in block headquarters, semi-urban areas and urban areas, we have gone for this study. And this is what on an average a single household, it has the capacity to sequester 4.7 megagrams of carbon, and they can get, like, in Indian rupees, 5,036 rupees per annum, just from their trees, whatever they are growing into their in their yards or in their kitchen gardens or in their fields. So this is what, in terms of monetary value, we have evaluated these entire systems, entire urban areas, entire rural areas. So this is the potential, like every system has this much of potential they can gain from the global carbon market sector. So if provided, if these policies are implemented in Haryana, in Delhi, the people are getting those, farmers, they are getting this money from different companies. But here in JNK, actually, it has not been started yet. It was actually part of our DST project where we have done this preliminary study. So based on these findings, they are exactly correlated to this VIKSIT BHARAT, so that like as per our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, for doubling the farmers' income. So this is one of the best alternatives through which we can increase this income of the farmers without compromising on any other sector of this. Thank you. I moved a bit fast because it's too late here. We have to move out. I was waiting.
Dr. Nazir, I really liked, though I don't have much idea about forestry.
So actually, it was a detailed study. It will take 2, 3, 4 hours. So,
Yes,
actually, the student, she just requested me just to present it for a few minutes. That's why I had to do it. So
I'm not, I don't have agro background and agroforestry and carbon farming, but I'm sure, as one of your outcomes of the paper, maybe you can tell your research scholar to link it to entrepreneurs in Kashmir and
that's
also
what we are
women
doing.
empowerment.
That's what we are doing actually. It's a baseline project is supported by DST. We're working on it. So the scheme has been
project.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what, because anything to do with women empowerment, women, tribal women, and helping women in entrepreneurship will have a good value these days, because
yes, exactly.
Our it's empowering women, tribals, and rural areas. It's a good study, though I cannot add much value.
Yeah, that's what I have been
But
listening since morning. It was a bit different. I was thinking whether I shall present it or not. Then I thought just on her behalf, I presented it.
नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल आपने बहुत अच्छा किया and I'm glad I could view your paper because I've been to the inner parts of Kashmir. I've seen the Gandarbal Falls and
Okay, okay, great.
Sonmarg,
Do
Gulmarg.
visit
I've seen
again.
all
Do
the
visit again.
beautiful places. It'll be wonderful to catch up with you. And that's the beauty of conferences because
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not about one is, of course, it's a good exchange of ideas through research and paper presentations. We also get to know what other in terms of sustainability or the contemporary areas. My only
Exactly.
request to Amity University through Dr. Meenakshi is that when we review papers, we by and large, we also sometimes, let's be very honest, Dr. Tripathi and Mr. Parul, Dr. Parul, see, we are all at the same workspace. We also need to look at papers and
Yes.
we also have, we got 44, 45 papers, 50 papers. But my sincere request that, when we are reviewing, if it is not falling into the theme, we can, or ask them to link it to us.
Exactly. That's why we have linked a few slides to this, marketing and farming. That's why we had to link it with
I
this.
really liked your paper, though I don't have much knowledge, Nazir, about agroforestry. लेकिन मुझे अच्छा लगा because it has a lot of scope leading to sustainability, VIKSIT Bharat, and also now Kashmir is now open for others, a lot of others to come and do their business and entrepreneurship there. This paper has a lot of potential to come out with various other theme mentions. But otherwise, it's a good
We
paper.
have got very good publications out of this. We have done that.
I'm glad I could see your paper because at one point of time I was losing focus a little bit, but of course I did justice to all the papers.
Yeah. I could hear everything since morning. I was there.
So thanks, my Meenakshi. How do I finish this? What is my role now?
Bas, ma'am, there is only one paper presenter is there and she has a throat infection. So she want to just share the slides, nothing else. She just want to share. The Mamta Bhilbar, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here, but actually my system is not working as of now. I'm logged on my phone and I'm directly not able to share the screen. But
Ma'am, actually, now I haven't received your paper. Your paper is not with us. If it is with us, definitely we share. So that is why I told you to share your paper.
Ma'am, if you can permit me, I can just flip my camera and I can view my PPT on laptop.
Ma'am, within a 1 minute, okay? We can give you, I request you to, ma'am, we have to sum up within a 1 minute only. So please do it fast. Within a 1 minute, ma'am.
Excuse me. Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. Yeah, Dr.
I have
Shoma
any
Bhusbishya
more
here.
papers. I have no more patience, Dr. Meenakshi. It's more than 3.5 hours.
Just
and
one more paper. My paper was not actually.
My work pending.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Meenakshi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Ipshita Ghatak and Dr. Shoma Bhusbishya. That paper is pending.
Ma'am, your paper is somebody present now?
No, that there were two papers for me now. The last one actually, yeah, you can see the list.
Ma'am, actually your paper was presented by Titlidhar and
No, that was Titlidhar's, and another is there. You see the list. It is my.
we are saying that both the papers has been presented, ma'am.
No, Ipshita Ghatak. The last one.
Ma'am, what is your number, serial number?
I'm telling. It is the last one, ma'am. 17th, I think that's the last one.
Padmaja, ma'am, please,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am, with your permission.
This is the last one, 23rd.
23rd.
After Dr. Nazir.
Ma'am, I told you if we have a time we can present. So you send it very last. So sorry, ma'am. because ma'am has a lots of work and she is from last 4 hours we are in the meeting and you send it the last moment. So sorry this time, ma'am.
Actually, my research scholar sent it because I'll just take 1 minute, miss, because this is a very important paper actually. It's talking about the leadership. If you can permit, please, ma'am.
Actually, I haven't
ma'am.
even moved out of my place. I'm just sitting like this. I haven't even moved out.
क्या नाम है सोमा मैम प्लीज मैम पद्मजा मैम यू सम अप देन आफ्टर मैम क्या नाम है मैम आपका सोमा मैम विल लिसन योर पेपर मैम यू ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड ना
Hello.
हाँ मैम यू ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड ना मैम यू
One,
आर
actually, both of my research scholars are there actually. One is from Nitish, another was from Ipshita Ghatak. So Ipshita actually sent it last.
Ma'am, you are also professor. You also understand the time issues.
Yeah, I understand.
So
No,
please,
no,
ma'am.
she has she sent it to me. I think she had twice sent it. Previously, she has sent it actually.
Okay, no issue, ma'am. Now I'm requesting to Padmaja ma'am, please sum up and please provide the best paper. Padmaja ma'am.
Yes, 1 second.
And ma'am, when I will share my screen?
We'll talk.
Are we done? Dr. Meenakshi,
Yes,
are we done?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, I patiently heard all the papers for the last 3.5 hours, all the presentations. 2 papers were good, but then I had to give one paper slightly higher marks than the other. I'll just read out.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Ma'am, can I share my screen too?
Yes, Dr. Mamta, Professor Mamta, what is it?
Ma'am, actually, wait, ma'am. Let me share. I just now forwarded on my phone.
I'm in one
So,
online. I'll call you. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Can I wind up, Dr. Meenakshi?
Yes, ma'am.
So the one paper that was quite impressive was number 7, Dr. Namrata Srivastava, Women Empowerment Through Entrepreneurship, a step towards self-help groups case study of Raipur, because she had all the ingredients of a good research. Her methodology was good, her analysis was good, and the paper also has policy implications because it actually moving towards VIKSIT Bharat, because Raipur and the places that she has covered is quite rural. I mean, and it's not easy to collect data from webinars from these rural areas. So I felt, and I asked her also, how did you collect the data? I felt that paper was good. And slightly behind that paper is Amity University, Bangalore. That paper was also good, but so paper.
Padmaja ma'am.
Can we wind up?
Ma'am, you're not audible properly. Hello. Ma'am, Padmaja ma'am.
Ma'am, your voice just a little break down.
Sorry, I got logged out.
So, ma'am, the best paper is Dr. Namrata Srivastav, no?
Dr. Namrata, many congratulations.
And now I want to invite Parul for the thanks note.
As we came to the end of this insightful pillow session, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this event a success. First and foremost, our distinguished speaker and panelists who shared their valuable insights and expertise. Your contribution has truly enriched our knowledge and inspired new ways of thinking. A big thank to our organizing committee for their unwavering dedication and hard work behind the scenes, ensuring everything ran smoothly. To our sponsors and partners, we deeply appreciate your support and commitment, which made this event possible. And last but not the least, to all the attendees, thank you for your active participation and engagement. Your presence and input have made this session a meaningful and productive. With that, I conclude our session and look forward to our continued collaboration and future discussion. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable uh, suggestions, which made scholars and other. And I wish everyone all the best. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Padmaja ma'am. I also want to say thanks to Padmaja ma'am, all the participants, and I also requested to all the participants, please open your screen, open your video for the group photo. Parul, please take the photograph.
Shall I close the event?
Thanks.
Wait a minute, sir.
Okay, sir. I'm done.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks all of you.